gonna go live in a couple of 2, 3, 1. We should be live now. Right, it's live on my end. I know, hey, that was quick today. I know there's a bunch of people already in the chat. Guys, let me set up, make sure I see you guys. Again, welcome to another Monday here with Operation 11 Charlie, right? We are a 501c3 nonprofit here, and we are proud to take care of our warriors. We had a huge weekend, right? Which weekend that we're gonna talk about? We have a special guest, Mr. Randall R.D. Davis. Welcome in, brother.
Thank you, the one and only.
The one and only. The one and only. Welcome,
Yeah,
brother.
thanks.
That's awesome, awesome. Also to see you. We got Bennett here in the chat. How you doing, Bennett? Oh, Bennett's eating.
I'm mouthful of food. I'm doing good. Trying to stay warm.
Enjoy your. You're in Montana, right, Bennett?
Yeah. Yes.
You said it's
Montana.
Montana. He said it's 90 degrees outside. He was wearing shorts and flip flops.
That's a lie. It was not 90 degrees.
It was.
Wait, wasn't there a big avalanche or a big car accident or something up in Montana's a big state, but wasn't there something crazy that just happened?
Wyoming had a 57 car pileup just
Okay.
outside of the town where I live in Wyoming, but Montana, the Arctic came through here, so it's negative 37 wind.
I know what it was, man. I don't want to siderail you guys, but actually it was a temperature drop, like a historic
Last month, right?
Yeah.
Black rock or black brick, black mountain, whatever. It was something crazy. It went from like -5 to like 57 degrees and then back down or something.
More than that, -70.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was just watching, ironically, man, I was just watching because I like weather. I admire weather changes or however you want to look at it. I like the outdoors. And so to learn something like that happened just blew me away. It was like, holy cow, that's crazy.
How do you dress for days like that too?
Don't.
Yeah, 100-degree swing up and then 100-degree swing down.
There's a song about it. It's something like "It's getting hot in here," right?
Yeah. That's why Simon Major has his shirt right here. Look at this, right here.
Yeah.
He's ready for that Montana weather right there.
Absolutely.
And I bet he's got a hoodie probably somewhere real close to.
Sitting on his lap. He's got a hoodie under the table.
Yeah.
Good to see
I'll show you the hoodie later.
Yeah. Good to see you, brother. How was your weekend, Jeremy?
Weekend was fantastic. Nice,
Awesome.
quiet weekend.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Mr. Jake, how you doing, man? I know you are talking about bad weather, cold weather. He had some cold weather, snow last week, right? Last couple of days, something like that.
Something like that, and another one on its way sometime in the next couple of days. So
Sweet.
I think somebody needs to make us a RC snowmobile.
Right?
It's hint.
It's in the works, maybe.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Jake has a lot of work. Well, he has had a lot of work this past
Been
week.
a busy week.
That wheel, right? How's that
It's gonna
wheel?
be a full one tonight.
I don't know how fast that wheel is gonna move. There's a lot of entries on that. So it's a lot of weight on that.
Yeah.
So, but we are very grateful, right, to the people that support on that specific rig that was donated by Brad Gag. Thank you so much, and it helped us raise some money so we can are able to take some veterans to USD. That's that beauty right there.
There we go.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing this raffle around 9:45 to 9. We'll be doing this raffle, guys. So thank you again for the support for that raffle. And also we had another raffle that it was closed, right? That's on Major.
Yeah. The donor truck will go off at I think 7 Pacific time.
Okay.
On Coast to Coast waffle.
Awesome. So that was another one was sold out. Thank you so much, guys. We are working quickly through that list of veterans we have going to USD. It's one of our favorite things to do, to take as many veterans as we can. right? Because we're local here in Florida. This year we have around 30 veterans plus family members. So we're looking around 50, 60 people this year, right? So we are very grateful of that. Grateful the support from the community, all the people here in the chat, all for helping us out, all the sponsors that we have tremendously, and all our supporters. We cannot do this without you guys. Our veterans are very grateful, right? And events like this, it is the perfect opportunity for you guys to go and meet our veterans, meet us, and see exactly what we do. We could be posting pictures all over social media, but being there in person and hanging out with our guys, our veterans, and seeing how grateful we are because all of you guys and make us feel so welcome, right, and appreciative of, everybody does for us, right? So you keep working on trying to bring that number down, 22 a day. So one veteran at a time, we're working, right? Trying to work and have a zero. No more veteran suicide, right? So the support that our guys get from organizations like us and many other nonprofits out there for our veterans, it is what it is all about. To our guys that will know that is somebody out there for them, right? I have mentioned this so many times, right? I'm blessed because all my battle buddies, my friends, always look up, check me out, my family, because if not, I would be another statistic. That's why Operation was created, right? Because it worked for me, and I know it has worked for a lot of our veterans that we have. So being present in those, you'll see, guys, and we take very serious what we do, personal what we do here in Operation 11 Charlie, right? Even though that we kind of in a way play with RC, but it is not the focus. Our focus are veterans, right? What our guys are going to, especially those are in need of that helping hand or that hug, right? That I'm here for you, right? Those that don't have people, that kind of person around them to tell them, bro, you're worth it, right? These keep with that purpose, right? Keep with that purpose. So that's our main goal, guys. So again, any question you have about Operation 11 Charlie, we are an open book. Feel free to reach out on that. So Jake, if you could post our website real quick so people will know, that's where you guys can contact us, right? Again, Rob, welcome in, brother. Welcome
Hey,
in.
what's going on, boss?
Good to see you, my brother. What a weekend, bro. What a
Oh man,
weekend we
yesterday
had.
was amazing, man. We had so much fun.
And I want to get your info from that so people will hear what happened. But first of all, I want to welcome, there's a bunch of people in the chat. If I miss somebody, I see Jesse, Scott Thompson, or see Reef. Sharif is in the chat.
Oh
Guys.
man, I'm in trouble.
Oh, is it?
I said, Randall, good to see you. Jeremy, love that shirt. That's
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
It's got a little Reef love on it, got a little Operation 11 Charlie love on it.
Man, it's getting ready for that Florida weather. That's what it's
I'm
all
ready.
about.
How many days is it?
Don't.
dude.
Come on, man. No. We don't need that. We don't need that.
So, hey, can I get just where are each of you guys located?
Okay, so I'm in Florida, right?
Okay.
I'm in Maryland.
Maryland.
Where?
Right?
Maryland? Okay.
Jake is in Canada.
Dang.
And Bennett is in Wyoming.
Or Montana.
Brooksville, Florida.
Wyoming / Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, around the area.
Oh, he's undercover.
He's undercover.
He can't let his location be disclosed.
Yes.
No, I just travel a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
It's
awesome.
working.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes, but we have chapters in Alaska. We have chapters in Pennsylvania, Maryland, New York, Georgia, Alabama, so different states. So very excited about that. Yeah. And let me see who else we got. Thompson RC. If I miss anybody, guys, I apologize. Just welcome in everybody. JMRC Orlando, welcome in, brother. Check pass RC. Thank you. Thank you so much. This dude.
This guy. Thanks, man.
Oh my Lord. 18. Anyway, I think I want to block that right there.
Are you counting the 16th or the 17th?
Well, for me, it's less days because I'll be there since Wednesday. Right? So it's less days than me. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to that.
Yeah. So
And you really need to come to that.
Right.
I should. I think Matt Higgins is going to go to that event. It's a tough swing when you have King of the Hammers.
Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah.
Right there. So, you know, some things have to happen more than others.
Definitely. So
Hammers. They're going to be another King of Hammers edition truck this year.
No.
Bomber.
No.
well, we're gonna be asking those questions later.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of questions getting ready.
I bet you do, man. I'm afraid. I'm always afraid of these shows, man, because I have to look around and I'm not quite sure where you guys are swinging from, and I just have to be prepared.
Yeah. We don't want to put you in that spot, but
But you guys, everybody wants a little sneak peek, and honestly, it actually did just a minute ago. I don't even know how much was seen, but
well, it was, we weren't live, so
A blur of color is all we saw.
Good. I am so glad we weren't live yet, because I was like, oh damn. Oh man. It goes that way.
We'll just call you Matt.
Ouch.
So I see Tires RC. Do you have all the states? No, it's gonna be a long time. We're working tireless for that. We have a lot of people behind the scenes, close to 30 people behind the scenes that work that you don't see here on the panel, but it's constant work. And the process for us to have chapters, right, it's a slow process, right? We're gonna have to make sure, again, we had the right people in that specific position, right? So, but yes, that's our plan, to be in every state, and not just one chapter. We need, because of the geography, we need more than one chapter in different states. So that's what we're working towards that. The reason the chapter that we're working on opening this year closely is Utah, right?
Yeah.
Randall is there in that area, so we're working to that one. That one it'll be happening sometime this year.
That's definitely in the wheelhouse of Miles Kimberly.
Yes, exactly, Mr. Miles.
For sure.
Miles Kimberly, fellow veteran, all you guys support in that location. So it's a lot of good things that happen. But yes, we are working on that. Tire RC, just be patient with us, guys. Again, as we keep growing, we have grown rapidly, and we got to make sure, right, that our structure is strong. And that's why we got to take step by step, because what we're doing, again, is very serious. We don't play here. It's very serious what we do. And so we got to be careful in how we do our stuff here, guys. So feel free to reach out in our website. I think Jake put it up on the link. Make sure, guys, check on the website. You could ask us this question anytime. Any particular question about Operation 11 Charlie, we are an open book, guys. So definitely. So Rob, we can talk about the event before we go to a special guest. This event, how was that, man? I wasn't present. You were representing Operation 11 Charlie. You had Annie, John, and Frank, right? And Lonnie.
Yep. I mean, so many people came out, man. It was great. I'm not sure if they were just out there just to have fun, if they're out there for the food, but everybody helped the cause. I mean, everybody was just throwing money into the donation. So I was very happy. I was pleased. The community that we have over here, they're so supportive, man. Over everything that we do, they always come through.
Yes.
But man, the pork butt, man, you missed it. That was
video. Video of the pork. Oh my God.
Yes. And so the guy that was cutting the pork, he used a dull knife on purpose because he was just gonna rip it apart anyways. Yeah, but it was delicious. I never had it like that before. Like it was my first time. I was like, all right. And then like it was a full potluck. So the community, they all brought food. We had rice. We had casseroles left and right. It was we had coolers of just drinks. It was a good time. It was nice that families just came out, kids were running around, getting dirty. Everybody's running trucks. We had a small little competition. It was a blast. It was.
That's awesome. That's why we're so grateful, Rob. Cottons, right? RC Park out there, Cottons. It just amazing. Everybody that was involved in that, the people that went and support. It's just grateful the community, right? That support our veterans, right? Not just Operation 11 Charlie. We're just a tiny part of the veteran community, right? It's just veterans helping veterans, and just how the community pours, right, to help out our guys. That it means a lot to us. You know, it makes our, you know, special. All that you guys make us feel welcome, and that's what we experienced last time with you guys. And I know you guys always take care of our guys, so that's awesome. And that's another event, right? That's helping to the cause of taking our guys to take our guys to events, right? In this particular time, we have USD next month, but all the events that we go, we got Axial Badlands, we got Axial Fest, California, we got Proline by the Fire. This year, we're trying to make it to all the event that you guys have in June. What was that?
Horizon Fest.
Horizon Fest.
Yeah, our RC Fest.
RC Fest. Horizon RC Fest.
Yeah, RC Fest.
Yes.
Axial Fest.
Yeah.
Badlands and West.
So
yeah, Proline by the Fire. Yeah, for sure.
So we look into those events always that we go take our veterans. We got Beat the Creek as well. In some of the events that we're planning to go.
There could be something happening at Trail Hero.
What? Say it again.
What?
There could be something happening at Trail Hero.
Whoa.
Trail Hero.
Mm.
And we were there. We were present.
Trail Hero is an unbelievably fast-growing event that is definitely one to go to.
Wow. We're looking forward to that. I'm looking forward. We're looking always forward to open all these chapters, but it just how impacting was Utah in our veterans, especially myself.
Yeah.
Breathtaking, all that stuff. So everything was perfect for this matter. So we can't wait. Oh man. Awesome.
And my favorite part, it's only a 7-hour drive from my house to there.
And let me
Off of a dime, I can be there.
Yeah. Let me
Come on down, dude. Come on down. Let's go wheeling. Come on down.
It's like going to lunch for most people.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, as long as you take the right roads and you don't get stuck on the way.
Oh,
I'm
Wait
just
a minute.
Is that too soon?
Was that a dagger? Are you
Is that
throwing,
too soon? Are you sure that was too soon?
are you throwing stones already? Oh, don't do that.
what happened? Did something happen that we don't know? Are we gonna be talking about something else later on, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna change subject real quick. If you guys are all military, because I love what I'm gonna change it real big. If you guys are all military and you guys fight for our freedom, can I get, because I'm not military at all. I've never been. I don't know the first thing about it. My dad was in the Army. I had a stepdad that's in the Navy. But if you guys are all in military, can you guys like just say, however you introduce yourself military wise, can you do that for me?
Like our ranks.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm Sergeant Bennett, or I'm, I don't know, whatever, whatever you guys do.
So I'll start off. Sergeant Major Jeremy Kilburn, United States Army. That's
Perfect.
Staff Sergeant Scott, United States Air Force.
Cool. U.S. Army veteran, Javier Rivera, 14 years in military.
What was your rank?
The highest that I was at one time was corporal at one point, but I finished with the mafia.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I got 3 of them. What about Rob? I didn't hear Rob yet.
There are
Civilian.
Civilian.
Oh, you're like me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay. Well, guys, like what you do is super awesome. I've been involved with a different group that kind of had the same objective of getting people back out, you know, getting war veterans back out to civilization, and it's amazing what you guys do. So I'm super proud to be here. So thanks.
Yeah. It just here. We're just here to take care of each other. That's
Yeah.
what we be huge family, right? And helping our guys and teaching is just teaching each other how to cope. You know, between veterans and civilians. You know, that's sometimes understanding each other, right? It can minimize anything, or for people to understand, right? Why we are who we are, right? Why our veterans are how we are, our military, all that stuff. So it's very important, right? So we can educate our community,
Yeah.
right? That's why we
Civilians are a very important part
Oh,
of the
yeah,
mission.
Absolutely.
yeah,
The civil service and the civilian service component to the DoD is essential.
yes,
We can't possibly do anything without that support. So
Yeah.
having civilians in our organization it actually makes it very normal for us.
yes,
I have civilians that work for me every day, and I work with civilians and work for civilians.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And
That's cool.
yes, and it's just going back to, like Simon just said, all that stuff. We are very grateful, and just is for them to understand, right? Especially in our cause, right? Is the understanding part, educating why we do stuff, right? And then
Right.
we hear, all of us, most of us here, right, and all our military can let you know that we do this in a heartbeat again. You know, I don't care. You know, whatever.
Right.
You know, the same result, I don't care. We do it all over again. You know?
You know, the cool thing with that, Javier, is like the Jeeping community, like I just really experienced, or like I have experienced, is you got each other's backs. Even in the Jeep community, the off-road community,
Yeah.
the military, whatever your service is, like there's no way I could never picture as an example, a Marine that needs some assistance,
Mhm.
and a Navyman or an Armyman is going to be like, no, I'm not helping you.
Yeah.
Like, that would never happen. And
Yeah.
that's the same with like the Jeeping community or the off-road community. Is like, man,
Yeah.
you're in distress, I got your back.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's funny you say that, because we could see each other for the first time, right? Veterans, and it's like we knew each other our
Get it.
life,
Yeah.
brother. It's like we start a conversation, you know, all that. I don't care. We don't care what branch. You just start a conversation. It's like that bond, like you said it right there, like in the Jeep community, just incredible, right?
I don't know who just called me out. Somebody's even called me out about a mud hole. Yeah.
What, already in the chat?
We'll get there eventually, bro. It's
Yeah.
cool.
I see we have a bunch of veterans also,
Yeah.
and civilians are working with the military, with the DOD. A couple of our reps from California, Angie and Wallacos Russell, DOD civilians. So like Simon Major said, they're a huge part of what we do. So definitely see Christopher True Blood, Sergeant True Blood, 25 Bravo, U.S. Army. Welcome, my brother. We got Sergeant Henry, Canadian Army, 82 to 90. Thank you for your service, my brother.
That's good.
And welcome. We got Juan also, fellow veteran. We got a bunch of our guys here also. Again, so thank you so much for that. Again, before we go to a special guest, huge shout out to Dr. Dance. Dr. Dance, right? We did an event this past Friday, I believe, right? Past Friday. They did an event for us. Great for Dan, the owner of Dr. Dan's RC Hobby Shop, Jay Levy, who put that event to work for us. It's Friday Night Lights, right? And we have our veterans out there that were there, moving the booth, all that stuff. We have Frank, we have Ronald, Jonathan, Angie again. Chris True Blood was there. We got fellow new veterans, Renee. June Gonzalez, and another of our veterans there, another Coastie. They were there first time with us, so they had a blast. So we're very excited. So they raised for us close to $1,200, so $1151. So huge shout out to them and the people that support that event and was there hanging out with us. I want to get their name right before we go to Randall. There was a food truck there, right? It just awesome, amazing food, right? Pork, all the stuff they had there, those sandwiches, they were amazing. Mr. Lonnie, thank you so much. Journeyman's Real Pit Barbecue. Huge shout out to them, treat everybody good. Then at the end, right, in our surprise, he just came in to us. Guys, this is 10% of my earnings tonight. Here you go. Thank you for what you guys do. So yeah, that's why I want to say thank you to Lonnie. We weren't expecting that, this is just incredible. That's what makes us keep working hard on what we do, right? And that's what makes it so special. Situations like this that make us feel so special. And you've been in a few of those, Randall, yourself, right? Those type of situation that makes a man cry, right? And support, all that stuff. Just the immense support that we get from the community and foreign sponsors, everybody, just incredible.
It's embarrassing sometimes, I'm a big softie.
Right.
Just means you're human.
Yeah.
Oh man, totally.
So we're gonna talk about that. Anything else that we forget? Welcome in, Sean. Oh, Randall, that's Sean is our New York rep right there. You were asking before who, so that's Sean.
Nice.
So I think that's it, right?
Sean's workbench looks a little bit like my office, man.
I know,
Right?
it's crazy. It's just like
that sometimes they do call it a sickness, but actually it's not necessarily a sickness. It becomes a mentality state of I'm on the point, you know what I mean?
Well,
it is like the good thing about it, I know where everything is. That's it's organized chaos,
Yes.
For us, it's therapy, right? We call it therapy. So
yes, therapy.
We can cover it like that. But yes, hey guys, anything else that we need to mention before we go to Randall? I think we mentioned everything. USD, guys, USD. This guy's already mentioned how many days we got left. A lot of work that we have to do, but we are very excited about it, right? So I hope we could see a lot of you guys out there, and make sure, again, USD, make sure to stop in our booth. 18 days left. Oh, this dude. So make sure to stop in our booth, hang out with us, right? Talk to our guys, talk to our veterans. If you guys see us on the trails, stop by. So definitely. So again, thank you guys for the chat. I see there. I think I saw Barbecue earlier. Welcome in, Barbecue. Thank you for being here, Jeff. Jeff, I got your rig here, Jeff. The rig that he won, the 118. Cody sent it to me today. Came from Utah, straight from St. George. What? So he won, we did a raffle. We did 2 raffles, 2 Mondays in a row. The mini Capra that you had your hands involved in. We did. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So one of our veterans won it. Actually, 2 veterans won it. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
We had Cody. You shout out to Sky RC Hobby Shop. He donated.
Good shop.
Good shop, good people, man, good family right there. He donated the orange and a green one. So the orange was given away to fellow veteran here, also local here in Florida. And on Jeff, I think Jeff is in New York or somewhere up north, right? But Jeff is coming down to USD, so we're gonna give it to him personally. So
that'll be fantastic.
I'm very excited about that. He's doing the drive. Yeah. So anyway, and that note, I think that's it, guys. So Randall, again, brother, thank you. It's an honor to have you here. Oh my God, man, it's just incredible. Man, so the people that know who Randall R.D. Davis is, if you could give a little bit of an introduction, brother.
I'm just a guy, man. I'm just a guy. You know what, man, I've had a really fortunate experience. My main focus is product development at Axial. I've been a Jeeper for a long time. I do a lot of one-to-one stuff. I've done a lot of professional competition stuff. I've raced King of the Hammers. I've competed as a spotter and a driver in We Rock with Laser Nut. I've done a lot of stuff. But at the same time, man, I just don't. I don't know. I'm humble about it. You know, it's all super fantastic stuff, but I don't normally boast about it. So I just kind of take it in stride. Seal products. I've developed a Rift. I've developed a few of the SCX24 products. The most latest product was the AX24.
Nice.
That was kind of a throwback. I've done the UTV 18. I've done the early Ford Bronco. I've got a few others that are coming out. We're always striving to, you know, as a company, we're always striving to bring something that's really cool to the market. And there was two comments actually. One comment, I watched them roll by real quick. Matt K, RC Crawler said, "I'm not crying. The dust is flying in my eyes." That is 100% correct, bro. Because I'm going to KOH this Thursday. I've raced KOH for 4 years. I've been involved in KOH since, I don't know, 2009 or something like that. It is a huge passion of mine. If you've never been to KOH, you have no idea what you're missing. It is the Burning Man. If you know what that is, it is the Burning Man of the off-road world. If you've never been, whoever is listening, you guys should really, really, really make it a point to go out to that event. It's massive and unforgettable.
Wow. So what we talking at that event? I never been in that type of event. What's that like, Randall?
So King of the Hammers is, and only because I've raced it, King of the Hammers is the hardest one-day off-road race in the world.
Wow.
There's lots of races that are very, very hard. Well, you know, we'll talk Dakar and Baja 1000 and this and that. There's a lot of them, but they span multiple hours, multiple days.
Right.
King of the Hammers is a one-day race, and you have to get it done in one day. And when I raced, the craziest thing for me when I raced was when we were jeeping, right, Javier, you know, we ran a trail, right? I think we ran Fallen, right? The Fallen.
Yes.
You run a trail and you're like, dude, that was an awesome accomplishment. Like, holy cow, we just ran a gnarly trail in like, you know, half a day.
Yes.
In the King of the Hammers, you have to run 13, 14, 15 of those gnarly trails in less than half a day.
Wow.
And so when we ran it, the first year we did it in, I think it was 2016, the first year we did it, I distinctly remember, and I'll never forget it. We got to the finish line, which was a huge accomplishment. And I was so in the zone of probably military people are kind of the same way, I would assume. You get into a zone and you're like, what's next?
Yes.
And you forget that you made it to the finish line.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. You're focused on the next task at hand. Like, you just don't care, right? Go. And when we finished that race, dude, that was exactly how it was for me, was like, where's the next rock trail? I just ran 15 rock trails. Where's the next one? I'm not done, you know? So King of the Hammers is an experience that, dude, if you can take some people there, or if you can go there, that is an unreal experience of off-road to level 10. Like it is crazy.
And that is good. And let me tell you something. That is what I'll learn to always appreciate the RC well because of what it does for me as a disabled veteran, right? Therapy, all that stuff. But I learned to appreciate more when I went out with you guys to that Trail of the Fallen, right? And just doing that one-to-one crawling, all that's what it takes. Seeing you guys coming out, the people spotting for you, Randall. Again, we were grateful. My wife and I were honored to be with Randall and his wife, and they took good care of us. And again, we had a blast. And seeing all those guys involved into it. So if somebody breaks down, you stop, right? Like we say, no man left behind, right? And the military, same thing, bro. So they stop all that stuff, spotting, where to go, right? All that stuff. A couple of times we used that winch. We used the winch, right? A couple of times to kind of get some guys out, right? Yeah. And just incredible, right, Randall?
That's what you do, man. It is legit, dude. Like there's no man left behind. Even in the wheeling community. Yeah. You have that same respect for each other of, I'm not going to leave you there. You're not going to be stuck out there. And we knew it, right? When we went wheeling, we knew, the weather got bad, and we all recognized the weather was bad, and we were all like, hey, we gotta bust a move and get out of here.
Yes, we got to go up, do the ceremony at their presentation, and then come back down.
Yeah, from the drill grounds.
Some of us came down faster than others.
I know that.
Yeah,
I know that.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Randall was saying, "Are you guys okay? Skateboard, punch it." He was like, "Oh, I love that, man."
Miles didn't have a windshield in his rig that day, but he posted like 3 days later he had a windshield in. So I don't know if that day had something to do with the windshield.
Yeah, probably. Once you have a windshield on your rig, it definitely changes the game, right? Because the wind kind of goes by you instead of just at you in the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who we had? We had those the guys that had those one-to-one. For me, the Capra like rigs. It was I always forget there were two of them.
Well, Fabinator one, Thomas Messier, Thomas Messer. I can never get his last name right, so I'm sorry, Thomas, if you're listening. Thomas from Fabinator one, and I think it was Brian Jensen.
Brian, I think it was Brian. That's the one I got into. Remember that I got into one of them? That was Brian. That he had his kid on the back.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
He took us. Let me tell you, I know I mention it all the time, but it's this guy's. I love it. It's like, oh, there's a line, one line. There's a freaking wall there. And all of a sudden, I was like this. It's incredible. It's just incredible.
We do that a lot, and the transition, the hard transition that I had after driving the Laser Nut Pretty Penny car was getting in my Jeep, which is just a JK on 37s and Dana 44 axles or Rock Jock 44 axles, and doing that, and then going from the moon buggy to my Jeep is you look at the lines like you talk about, like, oh, I could do that. But then you have to realize, wait, will my equipment get me through there? I know I can drive through there, but I don't think my equipment is going to get me through there. And so you start to pedal, go backwards and just be like, hey, wait a minute, this is harder than what my Jeep's going to do. I can't do that, and I have to be real. You have to put yourself in check, which is hard to do.
And again, I love that. Everything of it. And I know, Randall, you were making sure that we went, hey, you guys down with it? Even my wife, she was afraid.
She was loving it.
She was loving it. I think, oh my God.
She was loving it. She didn't want to get out of the Jeep. She was loving it.
While I was doing
the Jeep was like.
Yes, I was on the other rig, right? Yeah. And I was like at the top of the hill all of a sudden, and I looked down, I saw Randall like this on his Jeep, and my wife, she was there, like inside. Randall's wife got out of the truck. Let me get out, Randall. And Kayla stayed in. He was like funny.
Yeah. I kept checking with her when we were in the Jeep. I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm good." I'm like, "You sure?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Awesome. That's what you need." Like,
Yes.
you are encased, right?
Yes.
You're in a vehicle, but it still gets, man, it gets whatever, sketchy, right? It gets to a pucker factor where you're like, well, I'm not quite so sure this is going to work out, but we're gonna find out. Like, it may or it may not. There is a story, man. I was in a razor. I don't know what your agenda is here, so if I'm derailing it, just
No, go ahead. We love that. We love to hear that.
I was in a razor, and you have intercom and push to talk and stuff like that. And we were out on a trail, and it was when I was learning the razor, and it was a short wheelbase razor, two-seater short wheelbase. And I drove up to an obstacle, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna size this up." And my buddy got back on the radio, and he goes, "Nah, bro, you're gonna roll it." And I was like, "No, I'm just gonna size it up." And then while that happened, I got back on the radio, and I told him, while I was flipping over, you were right. And it literally rolled over. And wow. To this day, the guy is like, "Dude, I cannot believe you were just sitting in the car, super calm, talking to me on push to talk while you were rolling your car over." I'm like, well, I mean, what else am I going to do at that moment? You know, like, it is what it is. I'm protected. I'm in a cage, you know, and that makes a huge difference once you have a cage on you.
Exactly. And also part of your experience. How long you been doing that one-to-one stuff?
That's a really good question. I don't know. Longer than I've been with. Well, I don't know, about the same amount of time I've been with Axial. So about 16 years, 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah.
Good on that. I want to ask the question that my wife told me to ask you, that she was.
Oh man.
I just want to make sure, guys here on the chat, on the panel, make sure any question for Randall, keep posting them. We get them at some point and we'll ask Randall, please. Right? Very respectfully. Yeah. Larry, welcome in, brother. RC room, fellow veteran, welcome in. I saw Robert Matthew.
Who's checkered past?
Checker Pass is one of our supporters there.
So, Chris Trudell.
Yeah.
I'm butchering his last name. His first name's Chris.
Chris. All right. Well, Chris, yes. You get immune to the pucker factor. Once you trust your equipment and your gear, it just becomes no big deal.
Yeah. We hey, you get used to it, you know. Especially like us in the military. I don't want to say the word, but you get.
Yes, agreed. It's got to be similar, right? You get to a point where you're like, yeah, whatever, no biggie. I'm just gonna go and do what I gotta do.
So there, Chris, welcome in. The Story, welcome in, brother. Again, Checker Pass, welcome in. Kevin Gibbs, already mentioned. Thank you so much, Angie and Russell. Thank you so much, guys. If I miss anybody that came in, welcome to Operation 11 Charlie. So let me take the question that my wife said is how, right? That I know you've been getting this question, is like that your experience, right? And the one-to-one, how much has it helped for you to create stuff like the RC or rigs that you involve in the Axial? How much that it has in it?
There's actually a lot, and that's what I really do. What I really appreciate about my job and what I really appreciate about my hobby is the connection between the one-to-one world and the RC world. Myself and including Cody, there was years back where Cody competed. I wasn't even spotting for him at the time, and Cody from Laser Nut could relate, and he said specifically in a post competition environment, I learned to do what I did with an RC car.
Wow.
And if he didn't drive an RC car, he wouldn't have known to pull off the move that he did. But as he was driving an RC car, he was like, dude, I drove the RC car through an obstacle very similar to this, and I watched it do what it did, and I knew it would be okay. And so for me, it does go very close, hand in hand when we make cars, and like the UTV-18. When I made the UTV-18, there was a lot of characteristics of the car that maybe some people don't appreciate, some people do appreciate, but there was a lot of characteristics of the car that I transferred from the one-to-one world to the UTV-18 as to, this is what I want to see the car do. This is how I want to see the car react. So there's a huge connection between the two. And the more that I learn in the one-to-one world just carries over to what I know I want to see an RC car do. And it may not be the right thing for everyone, but it will be the right thing based on what we see as seasoned wheelers, and what we see that the car needs to do overall, the performance that the car needs to do.
That is just awesome. Again, I'm going back to what I learned with when I was with the guys out there, and I learned to appreciate more the crawler specifically my Capra, Rob, because I was in it. I wasn't one of them. It was like, wow. I know Sergeant Mayor, you were one of them as well, right? You were in that one, the same one, right?
I was in two. I was in a Capra-ish. The transmission started slipping really bad, and then I moved to the Jeep with the dog. Can't remember the name.
Jeep with the dog.
Yeah, big white dog.
Yeah, he was spotting. He was spotting some of the guys. Like, it was funny that you guys we were trying to get up stuff, and the dog, it was there, like he was trying to say something. Move to the passenger side. Move to the,
Yeah, the dog was judging everybody.
Yeah,
he would reach out and he would grab the brush and
the dog's like, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it.
It's like, that's not how that's not how we got here.
Right. The dog does the whole sideways face thing. Like, what?
Yeah, he was awesome though.
Yeah. That is so cool, man. I think we have a few questions right there, Jake. We got Logan in the chat. Wes Desert Wheeler. I think he has a question for Randall. Those are the ones that you scare, right?
I'm gonna throw a rock at his house because he is in rock throwing distance.
Right.
Gosh damn him. Yes. I did see his question. I think it was, would you rather compete in We Rock or race the hammers? Man, that is a very, 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 very tough question, because there's a lot to be said for your experience at the hammers. It's huge. I don't know if you guys have ever watched a movie. We made a movie, a documentary. I'll plug it. It's called Rocks and Rookies on YouTube. You guys can watch it. It's an hour and 20-minute movie that we did regarding our efforts to raise King of the Hammers in 2016. Man, that's a tough question. King of the Hammers is, like I said, it's the hardest one-day race, and you have one day to do it, and you prepare for 9 months to a year to get to that race. And then in We Rock, or competitive rock crawling, you have a course that has cones that are in your way. And the differences between the two are what's the word? Vast, like massive. They're way different. But the thing that I excelled in my opinion, between the two was my partner did the desert section of KOH, and I did the rock section of KOH. And when I got in the car and I drove the rock section of KOH, you look through, and military people can probably relate to it. And I don't like to judge or compare the two because you guys are badass. You look at a terrain and you go, I need to get from point A to point B, and I need to get there now. And there's no room for error. You just have to get there, and you wind up getting like this tunnel vision, and it's rock trail after rock trail after rock trail after rock trail. Like I was saying earlier, you go through 14 rock trails when you're normally jeeping and you do one rock trail in a day and you're like, oh man, that's fantastic. Let's crack a beer and hang out by the campfire. Cool. When you're in KOH mode, you have to do 14 of them. Oh, well, that's a different story, right? But the technicality of we rock, of cone dodging, or however they call it, rock duckies or whatever they want to call it, the technicality of it is actually super, super fun. So to answer Logan's question, I can't pick one over the other. Would I rather do one over the other? I probably would rather race KOH because it's so exhilarating. There's so much energy involved in it for a long period of time, right? Like in We Rock, you're gonna get your adrenaline rush for 10 minutes because that's how much time you have, and then you're done for a little bit.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's like you always mention it relating to a military, right? It just that adrenaline rush, and we get a lot of that in the military, right? Depends on what you do or stuff like that. But yes, bro, it's just incredible that you get addicted
Yes.
quickly, right?
Yep.
And
yeah, we raced for 4 years. The first year we raced, we finished. The next 3 years, we never completed the race. And that's how hard King of the Hammers is. 90% of the people that enter the race do not finish the race. That's how hard it is.
Wow. There, Jake, there was another question. I want to get them in order so we won't miss them. Jake, you want to read the one?
Yeah, I'm just making sure I don't miss anyone. I apologize if I do. So Mr. Rice is wondering, what's your favorite axial rig? And there's another one in here that's similar. Where is it? What's your favorite old axial rig?
Oh man. My favorite axial rig and favorite old axial rig. So man, that's a really good question. I'm going to try to start with this. Old rig. My favorite old rig is I am going to go OG because I was there for the first rig. So I'm going to go back to the original AX10. That's my favorite old rig. I have you guys may or may not remember, I have a AX10 with an SWX chassis. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I do have it. And I actually put AR 60s on it. It's very, in my opinion, very retro, very throwback. And that's probably my favorite rig, is the one with the XC1 body on it. It's low slung. It's definitely outdated compared to what people are making nowadays, but it's such a cool rig to have and to show to people. So I think old rig is going to be AX10 SWX is going to be my favorite.
Have you seen that one, Randall? Look at this sign you have.
He has to say something so it'll pop up on my screen. I can't see it.
Yeah.
11%
So
right there. Can you see
there
it?
it is.
Boom. Yes, that body. It is OG, right?
Yeah, this
It's
is,
very OG.
Yeah.
Are those the Hot Bodies tires?
they are rovers. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very OG. Are those Air 60s?
They are not. They are original
X10.
X10s.
Yeah.
Let me put
Yeah,
it.
that is probably what really set it off for me, what really got me hooked. Yeah, that is
Novak speed control and all.
Yes. Do you remember they had that old Novak, what was that? Novak crawler system or whatever it was?
Yeah, this one is a rooster crawler.
Rooster, there it is. Yeah, the Rooster. And then you had to before all the brass weights and all that stuff came out, you had to have the saddle packs.
Yep.
On the front axle. Remember that? Yeah, that's kind of the way to go. And it was probably, I think it was the last Axial Fest that we had at Donner Ski Ranch. I brought an AX10 hybrid out, and it had the AR 60s on it, and it had the SWX chassis. And I mean, I didn't fine tune it. It didn't perform all that well, but it still had some really cool nostalgic product on it that made it a whole lot of fun. So that's my old rig. My favorite Axial rig. I'll go with this. I'll show you even.
Yeah, go. Oh,
If
sorry.
I can get it. Okay. This is probably going to be, I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
There you go. This is probably my favorite rig. And the reason it's just a 10.2 SEX 10.2 rig. Shoot, not even a 10.2 because it still has the old AX10 axles on it. The reason that rig is my favorite is because, and I don't drive it, is because it was on the back of our race car when we raced King of the Hammers. That's the very first ever RC car that has ran King of the Hammers.
That is awesome.
Literally, we legit had the controller and the batteries in the car. If we broke down, that car was ready to go, so we could just goof off in the rocks. So that's probably my favorite car because it has finished King of the Hammers with me.
That is awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's yes, yeah, definitely. What's the next one? Share, bro. What happened?
Sergeant Major wants to know if we can take you swimming at USTE.
Me?
Yeah, so let me preface this. Rob Matthews, USTE, he wrote that you would be bored at USTE because of all the adventures that you've been on. And USTE is very dollhouse, trail type stuff. So I thought, we could take you swimming at USTE. That would be an adventure for you in Florida.
Yep.
Not really a big fan of water.
And, hey, that is that type of water that you may, when you get out of, you may glow green. So
all the water there, you got to remember that entire area is covered with cattle 99.9% of the year. So
so you're swimming in what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
People
man,
people have swam
and you hit a button. You hit a button. I don't get along well with water. I have probably had more injuries related to water than I have ever had in my life.
Wow.
It's always related to water. And I don't know why, but I have not ever had a good experience with water. So if you're challenging me to a polar plunge or a skinny dip or a swim fest or a high dive or a cliff dive, you're going to win real quick.
Yeah. I'm not writing this. This is good info. I'm writing this down.
It is 100% fact. I will back down from a water challenge. That's scary. That's pretty bad.
So later, Tires RC, thank you for stopping by. What's the next one, Jake?
Is there any plans for a new SCX6 Big Capra?
There are always plans for a new SCX6. I'll just leave it at that. That's a tough one.
Okay.
Or should I say there are always plans for a new 6th scale.
Okay.
Because if we made a Capra, it wouldn't be an SCX6, right?
Right.
That is true.
Yeah. It wouldn't be. It would be a
UTV6. Right.
It would be something else. Yeah. So we talk a lot about what can we bring to the 6 scale market, right? Because and I wasn't a fan of the 24 scale market, and I wasn't a fan of the 6 scale market.
Yes.
But I do see how awesome both categories have been for us. I do see it, and I've been blown away by both.
Yes, and I say also depends on the terrain or that you live on, right? Areas that you live on that you're going to benefit from those big rigs. I think like Utah, where you live, is perfectly like with California, where also all those guys they can benefit. They will see how that works. Some other location you will not see it as much of how that big rig works. So good.
Yeah.
Man.
It's cool. Like the really cool thing, man, with the SCX6, the Jeep, and the Honcho. The really cool thing is how much closer they become to real life.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You start to watch them work, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yes.
That is still almost real life. And again, like Javier, like you were talking earlier, the crossover between 1-to-1 and 10 scale is in the 10 scale world. You can roll your rig over. You can blow a drive shaft. You can use, you know, HOG and put it back on its wheels, or you can just go buy a drive shaft for $10 or whatever it is. In the real world, you got to have a winch. You got to have somebody to come recover you. And then the drive shaft is not going to be $10. It's going to be $300. Like, it's not cheap in the real world. So, or in the 1-to-1 side. So there's a lot to learn, and a lot that is really cool about the RC world that you get to do, that you can carry over to your 1-to-1 wheeling.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
the 6 is a favorite because it almost puts weight into the controller.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I grew up in Samurais. I ran a lot of Samurais.
Oh, you want to buy one? My neighbor's got one for sale, dude. It's got, if you know anything about Samurais, it's got a lightning motor in it.
Oh, okay. Might be my Utah rig. I'll just leave it there.
You part at my house.
Gotcha. Anyway, but you used to, when you won one, you feel that weight of the movement, and the 6 has the closest thing I've ever had in RC to feeling weight as it moves. It's a weird muscle memory thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool.
For sure. Well, and you learn that in the 1-to-1 world, man. When you're driving a Jeep, you learn it real quick. When you're driving a rig, you feel it in the seat of your pants. And with an RC car, with a controller, you start to see the car, the characteristics of the car, regardless of how many mods you've done to the car or how many mods you haven't done to the car. You start to learn the car, and you start to drive the piss out of that car based on that car's capabilities. And everybody can add, which I love, everybody can add to their car and upgrade their car. But what is really, really fun is to take your car, do the mods you want to do, and then stop, and then continue to drive that car. And it's called seat time, wheel time. You just really, really start to learn that car, and then the things that you can pull off with that car, because you know how that car reacts, becomes amazing.
Oh, what's the next one, Jake?
Actually, since we're on the sort of topic of 1-to-1, have you ever seen someone run a course with adaptive hand controls?
I like that question. I was very
adaptive, like a handicap person.
I'm assuming, yeah, somebody with maybe limited hand.
Well, to an extent, they're in the 1-to-1 world, or in competitive rock crawling. There's a lot going on in the cab of the car. If you guys have never looked inside a car that's a competitive rock crawler, or seen what goes on in there, and technology advancements have really brought competitive rock crawling to a whole new level. There's a lot that goes on in the car. So you can drive, and I have seen some people that are handicapped that have additional controls in the car to really make the car do what they want it to do. First-hand experience, I've never really done it, but I have seen that there are people that you can do. If you have a handicap car that has throttle control, no, I'll throw one back, actually. My TJ had I put in my TJ, it was a manual shift TJ, and I put what's called we called it a thumb throttle. And if you guys remember a 10-speed bicycle, used to have that lever to shift gears.
Yep.
So I put one of those on the shifter of my TJ, and you literally could change the revs, change the RPM of the Jeep with the thumb throttle. You could turn the RPMs up, and then you could use your feet, between the gas pedal and the clutch, or the brake and the clutch, and then get the Jeep moving with the brake and the clutch. And you didn't have to worry about trying to put your foot over to the gas pedal. So there are a lot of things out there that you can do to really make it, to make rock crawling compatible. I don't want to say the wrong word, but compatible to people that are kind of limited with their abilities. You know, if they're an amputee,
Yeah,
you can definitely do it.
yeah. That was the question of Maurice. Yes, that's what he was saying, trying to say the handicap.
Handicap, yeah.
Yeah.
It can definitely be done, man. It's amazing what you can do with those rock rollers nowadays.
That's awesome. Let me see what's the next question, Jake, brother.
I think Sean posted it. I lost it. You got it there, Sean? For some reason, my
It wasn't me. Definitely.
wasn't you?
The
My
one that I
screen's
did?
frozen.
No, so
These are great questions, by the way. I'm super stoked on this, actually.
awesome. I see, I have it there. Yeah, but in the same one, Randall, you ever sees? Yeah, the adaptive hand control. That's the one. And I like, yeah, that's the one. And I have another one here that I like as well. Guys, keep posting questions. If we miss them, we'll get back to them, guys. So feel free, keep posting them, please. If we miss them. How has your patience and or excitement for a product development changed, knowing that it won't reach the public for months or even years? That's a good question. I love
actually.
I love the question. We go back to one-to-one to RC. I love that. Go ahead, brother.
That's a really good question. When we decide to make an RC car, it typically takes 18 to 24 months to make it. And depending on the project, you get fired up and then you get tired of it. And then you get fired up again as it's reaching its end date. And like the one I really fall back to the most is the early Ford Bronco that I developed. I'm not a Bronco guy, I'm a Jeep guy. I had no interest in a Bronco, but once we decided to make a Bronco, I took it to heart and I was like, cool, I really need to investigate the Bronco. And you don't want to offend the Bronco enthusiast. So you want to hit all the key points about the Bronco, and you want to make sure if you're throwing something on the car, on the RC version of the Bronco, that you're hitting it right. And the enthusiast, if they see it, is going to not nitpick it or pick it apart and be like, oh man, you missed the mark on this and that and this and that. So it's fun to do, because when you look at cars, like even Jeeps, when we develop Jeeps, right? Because I'm a big Jeep guy, I have to look at the Jeep and go, man, we actually don't do that in the one-to-one world. And like the early Ford Bronco, it was the same way. When I was developing it, I had to justify or legitimize, yes, early Ford Broncos did do this. Early Ford Broncos did do that. So your heart in the project, your heart, it's like a roller coaster. Your heart goes up and down with the project, right, through its process. But in the end, you're super excited to see what the consumers are going to say about the car, whether it be good or bad. And you have to take all that with a grain of salt, because not everybody is going to be happy with what we produce and what we put out on the market.
Yes.
But when it finally gets released, you're excited to see it out on the market. Like you just made something. Like that's super, super cool. And it's, and it's a team of people that are involved behind the scenes. It's not just me, right? Like we have engineers that do a lot of the CAD design. We have a team of engineers that do a lot of the CAD design. And so as a PD, a product developer, our involvement is, let's make sure we work together to hit the marks that we need to hit to make the thing look real, right? Yeah. It's not just, I made a Bronco. There's so many people involved with it that it's a joint effort,
Love it. Later, Jeff, brother, one of our veterans. I gotta head out. Thank you, Queenie. Welcome in. You saw that sign, Major? You had to pay a lot of shipping to send that C2C rig, brother. So it's a lot of, it's going across the state, right?
Yes, it is going to Matt.
Congratulations, Matt. That raffle that was going on tonight for
him and I are jumping back and forth between the two. He just spun the wheel, and yeah,
it's just incredible. So Matt, congratulations, brother, on that winning that beauty, that well-built rig. Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations. Let me see, guys feel here on the panel, feel free to post any of your question and for Randall here. I want to see if I haven't missed any question, guys, here on the chat, guys. That's awesome.
I did highlight one, Javier.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
From Kevin Gibbs.
Yes.
He says, do you run your RC with the same mindset as the 1-to-1?
I love that question.
No, I do not. I drive my RC like a rental. I'll beat the piss out of it. It's very, very, very much less expensive. I don't care about the body scratches. I don't care about the rollovers. I don't care about parts breaking. I mean, that's essentially product development, but I don't drive an RC car like I drive a 1-to-1. In the 1-to-1 world, you're definitely more cautious and you're more calculated. You're more strategic. You want to make sure that some of the pictures you have one right behind you, man, on your wallpaper.
Yes.
I had my Jeep in some precarious positions. I've had the rock crawler, the 1-to-1 rock crawler, Pretty Penny, and from Laser Nut in some precarious positions. I've rolled Pretty Penny twice, I think, 2, maybe 3 times, for sure twice. You definitely drive a 1-to-1 car when you're sitting in the seat completely different than you're going to drive an RC car.
Yeah, definitely what it takes, everything, right? Yeah. Oh, yes. Go ahead, Jake, on that question, brother.
What Jeep would you love to see come to the RC side?
What Jeep?
Yeah. I guess what type of Jeep?
That's a trick question. Because if I answer that might be what's coming next.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna defer. I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one. Is that right? Plead the fifth. I'm not gonna answer that question because see what I mean about these things. Because if I answer, then all of a sudden you guys are gonna know. Oh, here's what's coming.
Exactly.
Not so much.
Good try, right? They were trying to hide that question.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Sugarcoat it a little bit.
Okay. What if? Okay, I'll throw it out there. Wait, who just said it? Oh yeah, of course, checkered past that guy. Jeep Compass, a Liberty. I don't know. Maybe a Skyhawk. How about that? Like, no,
Grand Wagoneer.
I can't say anything that would be like.
Yes. Let me see. Oh, question real quick. Did somebody try to reach out to us? The raffle that we were talking about is the C2C raffle. It's not the raffle that we'll be doing in our show. That will be done and earlier on the show, right? We'll let you guys know. Stay tuned. Stay tuned here with us, and you'll find out who won that rig here. Who will win that rig on that? Go ahead. I saw more questions popping out, Jake.
Any new developments or new companies for the Horizon brand?
Not that I've heard of. I'm definitely not that far up the ladder to really know. My main focus is the Axial brand. I do work for Horizon, obviously, and Axial is a brand under Horizon, but I am not privy to the information of if or who they're going to acquire next. There are a lot of rumors that kind of come around. As far as I know, the last acquisition was Proline, which is a great addition to the Horizon brand. That's about it. Like I'm not far enough up the ladder to know where we're going and who we're acquiring next, if anybody.
Yep.
So the MIP rumors are not confirmed.
Yeah, that's a rumor.
So speaking of Proline, that's a question. Is Proline going to bring back any of their interiors? Because they actually eliminated a lot of their interiors.
Interiors?
Yeah.
I don't know what Proline is doing. They are still a brand.
Yeah.
And we are working closely together, but I don't know if they're updating or upgrading any of their interiors. What I do know is that they're not changing their tire compounds. All of that is staying exactly how it is. The benefit is if we can, we'll try to, you know, if it works out, we'll try to include some Proline tires on some of our cars, which Axial did years back. I don't know if anybody remembers it, but years back, maybe Jeremy does. Years back, we did have Proline flat irons. I think it was flat irons on one of our SCX 10s.
Yep.
Yeah, huge fiasco. It's a tough one.
There's a bunch of more questions there, guys. Thank you for joining us, being here with us, guys. We'll get your question. Please keep posting them. Go ahead, Jake.
Lost where I was. How many projects do you have being built at one time?
Really good question. Typically, we juggle 5 to 6 vehicles, and that ranges from right now, obviously we're in 23, so 5 to 6 vehicles, that ranges from 23 to 2026, essentially. I mean, it's a huge timeline. When you really think about it, we have to make cars that, like I said, they take 18 to 24 months to bring to market. So it's not we brought it out today. Like the big haters, or the big talk, not haters, I shouldn't say that. The big talkers, or the big thing on the internet was we made the UTV 18 and the other company had their 18 scale version, which I don't say that name.
Yeah.
And people think we brought our car out, the UTV 18 out, just to combat that. And it's like, well, the reality is we have been working on it for 18 months. It had been in the works a year and a half ago. You know, so it's not like we're just throwing stuff out there just to combat some other product. It just doesn't happen overnight. There's way too many roads.
Exactly. People think they just created in a week. Okay, let's put all these parts together on this one. No.
Can't do it. Yeah.
Can't do it like that. I like that. Go ahead, bro. There's a bunch of questions the guys are
yeah, they're still coming in.
That's good, man. I appreciate it. It's
awesome.
It just jumped on me. One sec. Associated has the nickname Off Limits Development Area and Area 51. Does Axial have their own?
Like a skunk works?
I guess.
I think it's more about like a nickname for a location, a proving grounds.
No, not really. Now that we've gone since COVID and we've gone so much remote, we don't have like a go-to spot per se, because a lot of us work remote. I have a couple spots out here, including my backyard. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the pictures. I posted a few a while back, but I've been building a proving ground, so to speak, in my backyard. But in a place like Utah, man, you guys know, you were here. You can just go drive down the street and like, holy moly, there's new stuff everywhere. Endless. So the go-to out here is called water tanks, which they're now putting in a parking lot, and the name of that parking lot is going to change a little bit. I forget what it's called. Logan would know. West Desert Wheeler would know. I've drawn a blank.
We went to Dixie Rocks there.
Dixie Rocks. Yeah, Dixie Rock is amazing over there. Actually, Logan and I went there and did some testing with the UTV 18 early on. And Logan was super bummed that he couldn't post any of the pictures and the video that he was doing. I'm like, you just have to wait. We need to, got to keep it under wraps. So we don't have a specific location.
Andrew says, behave, Randall. No, he said, welcome, everybody. Good evening, Andrew. Andrew Sickler, welcome, brother.
Dang it, now I'm under the watch eye. Him and I think Matt Higgins should be in here somewhere. I haven't seen him yet either, but wouldn't be surprised. Those guys are always trying to find a reason to fire me.
Make sure at the bottom of that whiskey glass doesn't have a mirror on it.
Adding to that question, I like it. It was how much the environment that you live in, helps you and the product development, all that stuff, right? The testing grounds that you have to be specific, right, for what you are creating, right? So how's that works?
So it's the environment out here compared to where I used to live. I used to live in Aliso Viejo, Southern California, is where I used to live. And the benefit, honestly, the benefit is it's 20 minutes from my house right here. Wow. That's really the cool factor is I can jump out and peel out. When I lived in South OC, I had to drive, an hour to go get to some really good terrain when I lived in South OC. So living here has given the benefit of it's just right around the corner. Yeah. The thing that we really have to focus on, or that we really try to focus on, is the terrain I have here versus the terrain that Rich has in California. Yes. They're two different things, right? They're completely different terrains. The rock out here is amazing. The ledges and the way that the sandstone works is amazing. And it really gives you a chance to see how the vehicle reacts to that type of terrain. But you also want to drive that vehicle in California, where it's more like Granite Rock, we'll say, or like in Johnson Valley at King of the Hammers. The rock here is nothing like the rock at King of the Hammers. They're completely different. So it's cool to have that extra environment to go out and test rigs. And a lot of, like the UTV-18, a lot of my testing was out here. And so I did test the rig and tune the rig to where it would work in the environment that I'm in, but also work well in other environments.
I love that. And you're going back to comparing Utah, California. Imagine us in Florida, everything is flat. So we have to create our own, those type of rigs, right? Somebody gets it, why not? Because it's more of and everything has to be man-made for us, right?
Yeah.
Come out to Maryland and Pennsylvania, and we'll introduce you to slate. And red clay.
I hate red clay. You don't have to introduce me to it. I hate
lots
red clay.
of that.
I have been in some one-to-one events. I have been on the East Coast. Cody and I did that a couple years ago, and I don't miss it.
Yeah. Yes.
You can go from hero to zero in moments.
Yes.
It
definitely took. The crazy thing about the East Coast is, which is still fun, and this is why I think the Rift, the rock bouncer, the RBX10 is fun, is it requires a little bit more wheel speed. You cannot just crawl it per se, which, I mean, there are areas that you can, but when we competed out there, it was more like, we need to exercise a little bit of skinny pedal to get up and over this obstacle, because it's just not going to crawl. It was different. Yeah. In Florida, what do you guys drive over? Alligators? Crocodiles? What do you have? Is it crocodiles or alligators in Florida?
Now we got all kinds of snakes now. We have boa constrictors. We have all kinds of stuff. It's not just.
We have monkeys. We got spiders.
They're bringing stuff from Africa that ain't supposed to be here. You found it out down there in the Everglades.
Armadillos. Yeah, it's crazy.
I have been to Florida, by the way, and I have been to Key West, and I've been to Key Largo. I've been way over there.
So we need to bring you. You need to come and visit us. We got to bring you to USD, brother, so you could see the different side.
No, somebody's gonna chuck me in the water. I already saw that comment go by. No, it's not fair.
Andrew says, like going back to what you were saying, the California terrain, Utah terrain versus the terrain that 90% of the rest of us have.
Well. I mean, that is true. And a lot of people learn that when they come out to KOH, a lot of people learn that real quick, especially Johnson Valley. The rocks in Johnson Valley are extremely hard. They don't crack. They don't shatter. They don't whisk away. They don't dust off. Like the rocks at the King of the Hammers are absolute hammers. And you feel it when you're out there wheeling, whether it's an RC car or a one-to-one car, it hits the car hard. They don't give up. So you're right. The Western rocks out here are definitely different than everywhere else.
Story says, come get some.
Oh, not Story, man. See what I mean? He's gonna throw me in the water. Why do I want to do that?
Jay, go ahead, brother.
Just looping back to that whole associated thing. He was wondering if there's like a closed development room, like a secret area that
that's what
only
he's trying to
engineers
say.
are allowed to go.
Yeah.
Yes, there absolutely 100% is. And it's kind of a little bit sketchy, right? I have to look around my room because I am sitting in the closed room at my house. But there is a closed room. We all have that where it's, hey, we need to cover up and make sure nobody looks through this stuff. The crazy thing, I can kind of say it now, but the crazy thing is we do have stuff that becomes prototype one-off, and then we decide not to bring it to market, and then it sits there. And I don't know, Javier, you may have seen it, but it is up there. I don't know if I've shown it off before, and it's not like a super top secret thing anymore. But there is that stuff where we go through a process of let's bring this thing to market, and then we get to an impasse, and we're like, no, we're not going to bring that to market, and then it just goes and sits off in a corner and collects dust.
I was going to ask you that question, right? It has to be all the hard work you guys put in, all those months that you guys said you guys are close to. Okay, let's release this, and all of a sudden, bam, it hits the brick wall, and you got to stop. And no, it's not going to be. Wow.
Yeah, we pull the plug. I can say I did have a low-C product that I was working on that we developed, and it was going very, very well. And then all of a sudden we decided, pull the plug. And obviously I can't share it with you because it's too recent, but it happens. You know, we look at it and we're like, hey, wait, it's just not going to do well. Pull the plug. And then it just goes on the shelf and sits around.
Is there something that you can show us that never made it?
Yeah, I can show you my UMG 10.
Go ahead. Tony.
And somebody, I'm gonna make it very, very clear. Somebody put it in the comments earlier. Bring back a UMG 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen. Just to be clear.
They don't get no ideas. So Tony CCXRC is saying any Axial classified documents floating around the home office that you could show us. Look at that.
I will show you this. That's it.
That's awesome.
I know.
It's never coming to market. It's a UMG 10 on tracks. Never coming to market.
There you go.
Why did they never? That's a question. The Unimog 6x6. Would they ever think of doing a builder's kit of it?
Never. If I have my way, we will never make another 6x6. If I have my way, we will never make another Unimog. I love it. The car is cool. The 6x6 was awesome, but
a builder's kit of the 6x6, I think would be good though.
Well, if you're smart, you can buy some axle housings that have a pass through, and you can make your own.
Yeah,
and it's a builder.
I guess so. RC5.
That's a nerve, man. You're gonna get me going on a bad one, and I don't want that.
Pfizer boy actually had a good question, and I did say it, Jake.
Go ahead. I know Tony. Go ahead. Looking for that.
You say the one, Jake, from Bicep boy with the Exo Terra. He said Exo Terra is a vehicle that was made by Axial. Will Axial Racing ever build more than just crawlers again?
Will Axial build more than just crawlers again?
Yeah, because he was saying the Exo Terra was built a long time ago.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, the Exo was one of our favorites. But when we made the Exo, before we were part of Horizon, we made the Exo, and then I think it was Losi came out with a Tenacity, which was essentially a more a more improved vehicle than the Exo was. So we learned real quick that we couldn't, our car wouldn't compete as much as I still have one. I have one sitting on the shelf, an Exo. I love the car. But it's hard to bring a car back like that when you can't bring it back. You actually have to develop a ground up version of that car to really make it competitive in the market.
And to be honest, we just cut up the Exo and made Rexos. So it's
You know what? Honestly, I saw a post recently. However, social media gods have it. I saw somebody posted something about a Rexo, and I went, "Oh yeah, that was actually really, really cool." Was really cool.
It was the best IFS crawler I ever built.
All right, what do you guys prefer? IFS, FIS, solid axle?
Me
Yes.
personally, solid.
He said yes.
All the above. Depends on the terrain. That's what people are gonna say. Depends on the terrain, right? What you like. What's your type of rig that you prefer, right? Crawling.
Depends on the theme of the build.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also that. Yeah.
Oh wait, I guess I can't discount leaf springs. What's your opinion? Okay, I do have a great one. Nobody's asked this yet. Should Axial make a leaf sprung vehicle?
Yes.
Yes.
Somebody has the opportunity to do it right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just like, I'm not dissing on the leaf spring trucks that are currently on the market, but there's better ways to do that.
It's tough, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard to get a truck that is heavy enough to make the leaves work, but the leaves
Correct.
are light enough to let it flex. So it's a
Correct.
delicate balance.
If I have my way, I won't ever make a leaf sprung vehicle. I'm a coilover. I'm a Jeep guy. I'm a bypass shot guy. Like,
Yeah.
Come on. Like, leaf springs are so outdated. I mean, they're really cool, but they're outdated.
And you had a lot of yes here on the panel, and you have a lot of yes on the chat. Yes, yes, and yes.
Yes to all the above, IRS included.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
That's awesome. What else, Jake? What else we got, brother?
We got a whole whack load of them.
Okay, so real quick, do we want to stop and do the raffle and come back?
We could do that.
Let's stop real quick, guys. Let's do the raffle real quick, and we come back to the questioning with Randall. Is that okay, Randall?
Yeah, man. You're all good, dude. I'm here for you guys.
Awesome. So
It has a
guys-
Proline body on it.
yeah.
It does.
We want to thank everybody, right, that support this raffle. Sharing. Is it me or was that you, Jake? It's still loading.
There we go. I don't.
You know why it's going so slow? Because the raffle is so full.
It is very full.
It's very
Holy cow! Look at all those names.
yes,
That's awesome.
yes. We want to say thank you. Huge shout out to Brad Geck, donate this to us, right? This amazing build, and like I said, just the person that he is, and always say, I mean, I don't want no recognition, but it's we have to mention it, right? Thank you for the support and how much it brought in that we will able to take more veterans to this is specific event that we're working on USDE, right? So I cannot thank you guys enough, everybody that support us. So now, Randall, we always ask our guest, how many times do you want to shuffle it between, I don't know, 1 to 10, from 1 to 10? How many times do you want to shuffle? 3?
3.
All right.
1,
1, 2, and 3.
3 guys. So this is what we got going on, guys. The Brad Geck built. Looking forward to see who wins it.
I mean, just before we go,
Right?
Go ahead, brother.
we're going for the minute thing, right?
Let's go for the minute. So we need that drum. We need to get that music, bro.
I'm working on that one still. It keeps crashing my computer. For some reason. Here we go.
Oh, now with that, it's gonna make me dizzy with that rig in the middle.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely the wrong picture in the middle, man. I'm sorry. That's just rough.
Bro, this is gonna be fun. How we got Randall here with us.
I'll tell you what, bro. If it was an Axial RC car, I would have thrown in some extra stuff.
It is a Proline metric, so
It's a pro line. Yeah, got a pro line metric.
Nah, there's too many other words in there.
Awesome, my goodness. Let's see, man. Look at all those entries. How many entries we had, Jake? 120?
120.
That is awesome.
Thank you so much, guys.
Oh!
Who we got? Who we got?
Oh, wait, man.
No way, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, I'm gonna be taking
Oh,
it in.
that's-
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Jeffrey
Wow,
again.
wow. Jeffrey.
have a winner.
I'm gonna get that guy to buy my lotto tickets.
I know,
I need
right?
to.
Seriously.
I'm doing. I'm serious.
That's the Randall. That's the veteran that we said he's driving from. I think Connecticut. Or
Connecticut.
He's driving to USD. He won that mini Capra. That
Oh,
Cody sent us.
wait, so he just won again?
Yes.
Fixed. Just
When I
kidding.
see him, I need to come here, bro. Let me rub some of that.
Yeah,
good
rub
stuff
some of
here.
that good
Yeah.
luck.
It's got to be difficult to walk. with
Okay,
that
so
word
but
sheet.
but Jeremy, he did win a UTB 18.
Yes, he did. I have it here in my house. Let me get it. I have it here in my house.
I think he just left too.
I think he
Yeah,
did.
yes, he won. It was one of them that Cody donated to us from Sky RC.
Oh. Well, let me see. I might have since he did win an Axial product already.
Mhm.
I might have something for him.
Ooh,
Ooh.
sweeten it up.
Let me see
So
here.
I have these things. Javier, I have these things.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys remember, Axial used to do a geocache.
Ooh.
Do you guys remember
Oh,
that?
no.
Maybe anybody? Maybe Jeremy?
I know what you have.
You do, don't you?
I
Okay,
do.
I'm gonna proceed.
So we used to do Axial geocaches. It was something I started a long time ago, and we would ship out a box, and it would get buried out somewhere, and you would have to trail RC and share your adventure of how you got to get the box, and you would win a prize in the box.
Mhm.
But in the box was only 50% of the prize. So if we gave away a set of tires, you literally only got 2 tires. And as soon as you shared the story with us, we would send you the other set of tires.
Awesome.
So what I've been sitting on are these cool little things that are Axial
Oh.
medallions
Yes.
and a lanyard. So good times to Jeffrey. If you give me his info, I'll mail this out. These are very, very rare because I only have a few left. Cody at LaserNet cut these up for me a long time ago, and I've been sitting on them for a while, and they're great for special occasions like this. So
Look at Jeremy. Jeremy's jealous.
I love it.
So jealous.
Yeah.
I love
Like
it.
I know where they're at in his cabinet.
No, but
oh crap, you're right.
Wait, hey, it's an Intel thing.
no, and hold on.
Okay. I had to make sure there was nothing in there all of a sudden. I'm like, oh no. I did open the door.
And the thing is, Jeremy's gonna be more jealous real quick because I got something here too.
Hopefully that will make him run the UTB 18 more than the other.
Oh,
vehicle.
really?
Yeah,
What do you got?
Right here.
he's
Whoa,
got-
where'd you get that?
I think I think you were the one. I think you gave me this.
Not that one.
Or probably Paul or Andrew. Probably Andrew.
Maybe Paul. I'm gonna have to get some new ones made. Look at that. It even says Axial in it.
Yeah, Paul or Andrew.
That was
But
Paul. That was
I
Paul.
think the thing that we're most jealous of that Javier has is that Axial jacket.
Oh,
Don't bring that up. That's
you saw it. You saw it. I had it on Utah.
don't
I
talk
think
about
so.
Don't
I
talk
think
about
I was even jealous of it.
Yeah.
It's a windbreaker. Bro, real quick. I don't want to show Cody's address or mine.
Well, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to get some new ones made. I don't know though. You know, like
Right here.
I got these medallions made that are OG. So I think if you get one of these, it's pretty legit.
Yes, yes.
That car's fun, man. I really like that car.
So I'm happy that huge shout out to Cody, right? Sky RC, Cody May.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yep.
much, brother. So this one I'm gonna give it personally to Jeff that just won another rig today. That's he went to sleep. He's still active duty, if I'm not mistaken, right? Sorry, Major.
I believe so, yes.
Yes, so that's awesome. Awesome.
Amazing. Thank you for your service. I'll say that.
Thank you.
I can never say that enough, man.
Well, next time when he's in the chat, we need to ask him his lottery numbers.
Yes, please. So he can share it and
So
make
we can all get in on it.
Yes.
That would be great.
It's a fair split. I can still live with that.
Right. We had to wait. How many billions was last time? Right.
Yeah,
That's when we had it. Awesome. Real quick, let me see here. Andrew's. Oh, so it wasn't Andrew because Andrew's in the chat. I don't even have that. So it was Paul.
It was Paul.
It was.
Oh,
Paul.
your Axial medallion? Yeah,
Yes,
for
that was
sure.
Paul. That was Paul.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I'm gonna ask Cody if he'll make me some new ones.
that's some awesome.
Yeah. They're fun, dude. They're really cool, man. Like
They
they're
are.
very, very rare. They're one-offs.
I love it. It's right here on my personal stuff. So I love
It's the equivalent of our coins. I mean, it's
Yes.
our
Yes.
challenge coins. I mean, that's
You know what? I'm gonna have to find it.
it's in the drawer to the left.
Yeah, exactly. Which one of you is Marine?
He's not. No, we don't. The Marine is not here, but we have
Not here.
Marine.
Okay. They had a thing. I have a really good friend that's a Marine, and he gave me sort of a challenge coin,
Yes.
right? And it was I'll probably get it way wrong, but it was something to the effect of, if somebody calls you out with it, if you guys were all out at a bar and somebody calls it out and you don't have it with you,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to buy the round or whatever it is. I actually want to take that coin, dude, and I want to put it. I have to find where it's at because it's in more of like a keepsake box.
Yeah.
I want to put it at the drill grounds because I don't feel, as much as my homie gave it to me because he's a Marine and shared it with me, which I'm very honored of. I don't feel that I deserve it, and I want to put it at the drill grounds. Would that be?
If
Would
he
that be
gave it
cool?
to you, if he gave it to you, it's yours.
Damn it! All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that solved that real quick.
Where you keep it is up to you.
Yes.
Where you store it is up to you, but it is yours.
Yes.
If I stored it at the drill grounds in Utah, would it be disrespectful?
No.
You know where it's at.
Yeah.
I do.
Exactly.
All right.
And
Cool.
it's part of your backyard, right? In a way. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. That's actually like my front yard.
Yeah.
It's just right over there.
Yeah. Andrew said, I have my coin right here. Cannot thank you guys enough, bro. We cannot thank you guys enough.
Yeah, get it.
You
guys are
Randall,
awesome.
you Randall, Andrew, Paul, everybody from Horizon, and that's just supporting us. It's just incredible.
Make sure and make note. You better have your coin on you when we're at the events.
Yeah.
I will get burned, bro.
Yeah.
I've worked on the habit of just carrying a pocket knife because I had a guy give me a pocket knife as a gift. He recognized that I needed a pocket knife because I didn't have one. There's a fellow Jeeper in the community, and he gave me a pocket knife, and it was like, I don't know, $100 pocket knife. I didn't even know it, right? He's just like, here, have a pocket knife, and he gave it to me as a good gesture. And I have developed the habit of, if I leave my house, I put the pocket knife in my pocket.
Yes.
And I continuously tried to develop that habit. And now you're going to call me out on this gosh damn coin?
Just carry a 24 Betty coin with you everywhere.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about a pocket knife. You see an infantry guy, a military guy without a pocket. If you reach any, I don't know how many inches here, you will find I don't know how many knives.
Look at this guy.
So, yeah. So, but yeah, it's you get accustomed to it. That sometimes I forget, especially when I'm flying or going to a place that they're gonna
Yes.
that gotta get screened. I said, oh my, I gotta go back to the car real quick.
Yeah. I actually did leave my pocket knife in New Mexico one time. I went to a friend's wedding and I left my pocket knife there, and I literally called and hunted it down and said, I want it back. And the people that found it were like, well, we found it in the hotel room, but we had to turn it in because we didn't know.
Exactly.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, it's very sentimental to me. Like, I had to go through a whole bunch of like, I was willing to drive back to New Mexico to pick up my pocket knife because it meant so much to me that the guy that went out of his way to give it to me, it was so sentimental. It was like, dude, I am never leaving that thing anywhere. Like, this thing is awesome.
Yeah. Yes. If you what story saying there? Oh my God. If you don't tell everyone on YouTube, you don't get called out. Okay.
Wait, what?
I don't know what he was saying. Something going on there. Let's go back to a question, guys. We have passed our time. We don't want to abuse Randall here being with
You're
us
not
too long.
abusing me.
Okay. We have a bunch of questions.
Let's do it. Keep going, bro. I'm fine.
Let's go.
The one I have to get back to, because Jeremy already called me out on it in the beginning of the show.
Go ahead.
I will have to get to that eventually.
It's in the list.
That's fine. I will get to that. As long as it's there, I will. I appreciate that.
That's awesome. Go ahead, Jake.
I know you already touched base on this one, but are you going to USDE?
I am not. I think USTE and King of the Hammers is conflicting to an extent. I'm leaving for King of the Hammers this week, Thursday, and I will be out there in Johnson Valley at King of the Hammers until the following Friday.
Okay.
So I'll be out there for that.
Gotcha.
If I had my choice, it would be King of the Hammers.
Gotcha.
As a true bit 1-to-1 guy, I really love the full size stuff, and King of the Hammers is absolutely an amazing event.
The speed them guys do in that King of the Hammers is insane, though.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I say the speed them guys do in the King of the Hammers is insane. Like, they do not hold back. I love watching because they do a full live feed of it.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. If anybody that's watching gets a chance to watch King of the Hammers, it's an unreal experience. To do what they do. It's one thing to do Baja, and I equate the two differently. When you look at a Baja 1000 truck, they're very fast and they're very amazing and they're very capable. But when they get to a rock trail, if that's the only way through, the trucks stop.
Yeah.
But an Ultra 4 car and a KOH car will not go as fast. They're getting there, but will not go as fast as a Baja truck. But when they get to the rocks, you just keep going. There's no stopping those cars. And that's, to me, the big difference between the two is an Ultra 4 car will absolutely go anywhere and everywhere that you say it should go, where a Baja truck will not go there.
Later, Kevin Gibbs.
Later, Kevin. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the King of the Hammers, man. If nobody's watched it live, you gotta tune in to that live feed.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I will. So I go out to King of the Hammers, and then I host a King of the Hammers watch party here in Utah. So for the main race, which is on Saturday, I'll be back home, and I'll have a bunch of friends over, and we do a King of the Hammers race pool, sort of like a fantasy or like a football pool.
Nice.
More tailored towards King of the Hammers, and like I mentioned before, you get to pick for each lap. You get to pick a suspension type and a driver. So you can pick, we'll just say as an example, Randy Slauson, and then we'll say solid axle, right? Because he's a solid axle guy. And then you get to pick for lap 2, as an example, we'll pick Cody Wagoner in an FIS car, a full independent suspension car. And then you can go further and pick somebody like Shannon Campbell, which Shannon Campbell has an IFS car. So it's independent front suspension, solid axle rear. And you get to pick those. And then in the pool, depending on who you pick, you may win or you may not win, but it makes the race way more entertaining to watch if you've never watched it, right? Like now all of a sudden you want to see what's happening.
Yeah.
And the drone coverage that they have last year before has been absolutely mind-blowing when you can take a drone and just fly under a car that's broke down to see where the damage is and then fly away like no big deal.
Yeah, last year's coverage was insane.
Yeah, they have come so far from the old tower cams. Like, it's such a pleasure to watch now.
Yeah, they do a lot of work, man. They probably, I don't know. I'm gonna go on a whim, but I think they put in more effort to bring you live coverage than any other sport in the world.
Because what's nice now, like with the drones, they get the drones right up into the rocky section where there
Yeah.
never used to be a camera, like, you know, and it's shaking. That's the awesome
Exactly.
part, like, you know.
Dude, your accent's gonna wear off on me all of a sudden. Hey, I'm gonna start talking kind of weird, you know?
Yeah. They get the translator.
That's Sean. We love our angry Irishman right here. We love him. Love him. Love him. That's something that have spoke the president of Operation 11 Charlie and I, right? The boss. We were talking about taking some of our veterans to events like that. It will be amazing, right? So they could see it in person. And one of the names that came up, it was King of the Hammers. Another stuff related to our seat, like the monster truck jams, all that stuff that we could take some of the guys behind the scenes so they could you know, see how it works, everything, how it goes, how to prepare all that stuff. That's some of the stuff that we want to do. Definitely. What we talking about here? Something said about what? Something match off recovery shirt. What happened there? Something happened?
Yeah.
So the question reads, can I read the question?
Go ahead.
Please do. Please do.
On your recent miscalculation in the depth of a puddle, what tool do you wish you had with you?
Jesus.
You know, I actually had the one tool I did not have was my spot recovery device. If you guys know what that is, SPOT, it's a SOS device that you can push a button and it will send a text message out to your predefined colleagues to come and help you. I did not have that tool with me on my recent adventure of snorkeling. However, I did earn a shirt, which was not fun, but at the same time was a godsend because it was Sunday. You never go wheeling alone, which I have posted. Never ever go wheeling alone, and that's off-roading 101. And we did, and we weren't actually even. I mean, literally, where we were, it was the road to go out of the creek was maybe 50 feet, 100 feet behind me. It was not far at all. Gosh dang it. And we drove by there. It was just a Sunday cruise. And we drove by there and I was like, hey, we'll just go down here, hang out for a second, turn around and go back. And as I went to do my turnaround, the front of the Jeep sank. And I knew I was in trouble immediately. But I knew I had all my gear. I had my Jeep box, which has my snatch blocks. It has tree straps. It has winch extensions. It has all the stuff. The thing that happened because the Jeep sank so fast was I could not dig down quick enough through the muddy water to get to the winch line to pull it out. And then ironically, as we were frantically trying to figure out how to get my Jeep backed up, I was digging rocks out from behind the Jeep to get it to back up to try to get traction. I had, the lockers on and all the stuff. And I was ready. I already had a plan of attack to throw my winch line around the Jeep, behind the Jeep, to pull it backwards, which I have done before, and it successfully works. It's not the smartest thing you want to do, but in dire need, if you have to put your winch line underneath your rig and backwards, you'll do it, right? You'll sacrifice the winch line. My friend decided was up front while I was moving rocks. He was up front trying to dig at the winch line. And it was literally, as soon as you took a scoop with your hand to move the mud out of the way, twice as much mud came in. You could not get it away fast enough. And I felt bad because I am a seasoned wheeler and I'm very confident in the things I do, but that stuff, the mud sank. I mean, it was like quicksand. It just sank so fast. It was crazy. So we were dealing with the Jeep and all of a sudden my friend says, hey, there's somebody coming up the creek. And I went, there's no way somebody's coming up the creek. Like, why would anybody be out here? You know, who's gonna be the dumb guy that's gonna be out here? And sure enough, it was the guys that Jeremy's got the sweatshirt or whatever attached to his chair. Yes, Matt's off-road recovery was coming up the creek, and I've met the guy. He's a really nice guy. I've met him before. We've talked a lot, and so he came cruising up doing a different recovery, which was ironic. And sure enough, there we were, and he hooked up a cable or hooked up his winch line from his rig to the tree to create a pivot point, back to my rig, back to his rig to create a winch line. And as it was pulling it, because my Jeep was so buried, it wound up snapping his winch line.
Oh.
But in the process, we were still able to get my Jeep backed up just enough that my buddy was able to pull my winch line out from my, I'm going to drop names on this one because I have a Warren 10,000, a Warren 10S winch with a Warren synthetic winch line and a Factor 55 Ultra hook. I'm dropping all those. So my buddy pulled that out and we were able to string my winch line back to the tree on a snatch block, back to the back of my rig, plus Matt's recovery because we retied his winch line. And it took both of them to pull my Jeep out, which I would assume mine's a 10,000 winch. I would assume his is probably a 9 or a 10,000 winch. Also, you're talking 20,000 pounds of pulling force to pull my Jeep out. We finally got it out, right? And it was with a quickness. We finally got it out. And yes, gosh damn it, he gave me a shirt and said, thank you very much. So I do have a shirt. It is in the closet. I do have a shirt. I don't know if they're going to use it on any of their videos or whatever. We did connect and talk a bit about Axial product and whatnot because he does have Axial products. And literally, Matt's off-road recovery is 2 blocks over from my house. Definitely a embarrassing, but also reminder, right? Like I know how to wheel. I know when situations, I know I can read when they're going to get sticky, but we could walk on that mud in our shoes and we would not sink, but maybe 2 inches. It was not mud. It was quicksand. It was so crazy.
So there's a couple of things there. So I visited Matt's, that where I got the sweatshirt. I visited when I was out there with you guys. There is an 11 Charlie sticker on the side of his refrigerator.
Oh, cool.
The Ed's Golden Nugget, the scale one, I built.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he definitely needs some help. He's got some battery understanding to do. But
yes. Yeah.
The other thing is, I really thought growing up quicksand was going to be a bigger issue in life, based on the cartoons that I used to watch. But,
right.
Now I know it's real. Like,
dude,
how to eat your Jeep.
Dude, as fast as my Jeep sank, I swear I did not think it looked like hard packed dirt. Like it did not look soft at all. And there was dry patches on the surface. And as soon as I drove the Jeep on it, it just
sank.
Just sank. And I literally, I washed my Jeep over the weekend. My highlight of the weekend was washing all the mud out of my Jeep. I washed it probably 4 different times trying to get all of that crap out of it. It was so bad.
Crazy.
So Jeremy, you made me think of something. Maybe I give, because I wanted to give a thank you to Matt. Maybe I give him one of these.
Yeah.
You can weld it on that heavy record.
Right. On the heavy wrecker or in the Morvair
Yeah.
or something. I think that's a good idea. I mean, I kind of feel like I do on the winch line too, but we'll see.
That'll do.
Apparently he didn't have a Warren winch line.
Lessons were learned.
There's a few people that know you well, Randall. Here, we're saying some comments on that.
It's
right. RC and Story. Although Story said it was a Toyota pulling out a.
no. It was not a Yoda. There's no way a Yoda could have pulled that off.
Was he in the Morvair or was he in the banana?
Morvair.
Over. I think they asked a question about that one, right, Jake? On the question for like a rig on that regard. And I just want to say, Scumbag RC, look, welcoming, look.
Yes, I think I seen that question earlier, if Axial would be ever interested in making a replica of the Moab.
We would. There's always licensing. When you start to do replications, there's a lot of licensing that gets involved, and a lot of talks that have to take place. We pay for Jeep licensing and Ford licensing and Chevy licensing like that. It's because Horizon is a big company. You can't just kind of wing it out there and think and think that nobody's going to, bat an eye at it. Like, we have to be very, very careful. So
Yes.
it's possible. And I don't know, would every one of you guys buy it?
Hey, they're already in the chat. They have
Yes.
for it. It's a tribute to Randall's recovery. I love it. Hey, hi neighbor.
We can tag it RD's recovery machine.
All right. Then they say, hi neighbor, need a tow?
Yes, absolutely. It was a godsend that the guy came cruising up the creek. Like,
Yes.
nobody should have been out there, right? It was rainy, it was snowy, the creek was flowing. We were down below Tokerville Falls. I don't know if you guys know where that's at proximity, but we were down below Tokerville Falls, and it's a dirt road from Tokerville Falls to the turnout. It's a dirt road that crosses, and we shouldn't have been out there alone. That's the first rule number one. You never skydive alone.
Yeah.
You never scuba dive alone. You never go off-roading alone, right? Like, I'm sure there's military things as well. Like, you never do it alone.
Yeah. That's what we say in the military. You always,
Battle buddies.
what's your battle buddy?
Where's your battle?
Is your battle buddy, sir?
Your battle buddy. Yeah. And I mean, it was, I took my neighbors from across the street, which, was like, hey, let's just go for a Sunday cruise. And it turned bad really quick. And man, it was cold, and there was no cell signal in there. Like, you probably would have had to hike up, I don't know, 500 feet uphill, 500, 1,000 feet uphill to try to get a cell signal. Like, it was dumb. Definitely dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one. Can we expect an Axial Morvair?
Yeah, I think, he was late, but you answered that a few minutes ago, right?
Yeah. And thank you, Luke. He just said Randall can wheel, just shitty luck.
That's nasty weather that day.
Yeah. I had all my gear. I had a plan of attack. Definitely Matt's off-road made the recovery quicker. But I did have a plan of attack. But man, the Jeep was very, it was very fender line.
That's a lot of winch power. I ran tank recovery 88.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, that's a lot of stagnant weight that's buried.
Plus suction. Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was really, really bad. Like, we were essentially, man, I was prepared to walk away. Like, call some friends and be like, I gotta go. It's stuck.
Hey,
And that would have been horrible.
you're gonna hear more about that, because they're asking, is there a YouTube video about that recovery?
Yeah, I don't know. They definitely recorded.
Okay.
They definitely recorded. I didn't ask him if they were going to use it or not use it. Obviously, he has free rights to use it. I don't care. It's more for their show. They were out there recovering 2 motorcycles.
Wow.
He had his trailer the recovery trailer on the back of the Morvair, and they were picking up motorcycles. They had one on the trailer already, and they were on their way to pick up the second one. And they just happened upon us. Like, oh, looks like you've got a problem. Like, oh yeah, I've got a big problem. This sucks.
Andrew is saying, if you have your cameras on.
I did not. Hey man, when I get into a situation like that, I am not taking pictures.
So
I didn't do the why would you not? I didn't do any of the I didn't do anything, because I was in get me out of here mode.
I got a message off of the boards here.
Oh man, that's
what
bad.
made me laugh. They asked if you were busy in March for the as an anchor for the off-road wrecker Olympics.
What?
So Matt's doing a off-road wrecker Olympics with Trailmater and Fab Rats and all those guys.
Really?
Yeah, in March. So this person was asking if you were the anchor for the to be recovered.
I'm gonna go bury my Jeep and let him come out and pick me up. Yeah, that would be. I'd rather not. The amount of
Multiple
time I
times.
spent, quite honestly, man, there is a forum out there. It's called I Hate Mud. IHATMUD. I hate mud. I do not like mud, and that's why I don't like Eastern Wheeling either.
Yeah.
Is because I hate mud. And man, I swear I spent 12 hours washing my Jeep trying to get all the mud out of it. It's horrible. It was so bad.
So we have the birth of a new event in Axial Fest, says Andrew. New Axial Fest event. Recover RD's rig.
Now, okay, that might be promising. Andy, was that from Ziegler?
Yeah, Sigler.
Okay,
And
that
mud,
could be fun. That could be
Mud.
fun.
mud is made out of water. So
Okay.
maybe that's the root why you don't like mud.
You see what I'm saying? You're picking it up, right?
Psychologist. Yeah.
Yes, I just don't like it. But if somebody wants me to take my RC mini me and bury it in the mud and let people recover it and see who does it the fastest,
Right. That's
get on it. I'm down with that.
Pretty cool.
It'd be awesome if it was an Axial Morbear doing it.
let's do it.
I hear you guys. It was
Where's
bad.
Westmade? Westmade, we need some bodies made fast.
RC saying the dogs count for not going alone.
No. No. I had 3 passengers with me. No, I was wheeling alone. You have to have another rig.
RC says, well, they know you well, and they said, pretty sure I remember a 2 motorcycle recoveries on math. Yeah, that what you were saying.
Yeah, I don't know if they've published a video. I don't know if they were going to use the content that they got from my recovery. I have no idea. I don't care. I mean, if they do, cool, I'll share it. If not, ain't no thing. Like I got, believe it or not, my wife did get a bunch of pictures and some video and stuff like that, which I'll be posting up a little bit of it. But I wanted to make sure I gave Matt's a chance to respectfly give them a chance to do what they wanted to do.
Okay, stop picking on Randall, please.
Take away, bro.
What's the next question, guys? I think we're gonna run till 10:30, guys, and yeah, Sergeant Major has PT in the morning, all that stuff. Yeah. What's the next one?
What's your greatest Axial Fest memory?
Ooh, I like that one.
Ooh, I won't forget it. I've posted it a couple of times. My greatest was back at Cisco Grove, which we will never ever go there again.
Yeah.
It will be at Rob's Resort again this year, and I hope we have a better turnout this year. I'm plugging it. Come out to Rob's Resort. It is an absolute fun event and a great location.
Yes.
I do love, I know everybody likes to talk about the rocks. I'm going off on a tangent here real quick, but I know everybody loves the rocks at Donner, but I love the creativity that the trail builders, the adopted trail groups, everybody that puts in the efforts to make the trails fun, to me is way more fun than standard rock terrain. Because you go to Donner 6 times, 7 times, you're going to get tired of it. It's the same rock. So I really like what we're doing at Rob's Resort. My greatest memory of all time, and there's a picture of it, was I was on stage and I was holding up one of our RC car giveaways, and you could see the energy from all the fans that were there wanting to win the RC car. And I still kind of, I mean, there's a lot of really good memories, but that was probably one of my favorite moments, was to see, to present an award, a raffle prize, and see the enlightenment from everybody wanting to win the prize.
Yes.
But we've had some, I don't know. I guess I could say this last year was the teddy bear, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We raised a lot of money with a gosh damn teddy bear that I think it was Ziegler's mom or wife, I can't remember now, made the teddy bears.
Yes. Yes.
And blew me away, right? How a teddy bear can create such an energy to people, right?
And just crazy, Frank, because I think somebody was next, one of our guys was next to me and said, oh, yeah. And there was a kid and said, they ain't gonna give that much money for a teddy bear. All of a sudden, 500. Oh,
it went crazy.
It went crazy.
Yeah, it went. I can't even remember the total number, but I mean, it blew me away.
It was 1,000 all together. I think it was between a whole that same day. It was over $10,000 that night.
It was crazy, and those are like really for me, man. I mean, I have a lot of really good memories, you know, with the Axial Fest that we've done and that I've been to. But every year, there's always something that comes up that just surpasses the previous year, and you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that just happened. I mean, the teddy bear was, and somebody commented it was Ziegler's mom. So cool, thank you, mom.
Yeah.
I hope she does it again because I would love to have a comfort bear on stage if I have to be on stage again at Axial Fest. It really helped me out. But it's cool how things like that, and there's the camaraderie at Axial Fest with what's awesome to me, man, is I always go back to everybody there is there to admire and play with oversimplified toy trucks, RC cars, specifically the Axial brand RC cars, right? And plus all of the aftermarket parts and the supporters and all that stuff, which we love, or I love a lot. It's just so cool to see that. And that's like when people go wheeling, when you go to a Jeep event, whether, you know, Winter 4x4, Trail Hero, or Eastern Jeep Safari, or whatever, it's like, it's those like-minded people that come together and create a vibe that it just blows you away, right? You just look around and you're like, wow, man, there's so many people here that love the same thing.
Yes, it's very humbling. It's very, very, very humbling. Very humbling experience. Andrew says, my mom wants to know if she needs to make more. Yes,
please.
Yes, please.
At least one.
Let me see here.
What dates are Axial Fest this year? Look it up. All the dates have been posted. We are going back to Axial Fest Badlands, I think in June, and then we are going back to Rob's Resort for Axial Fest West in July.
Yes, they have all of them. Axial.
Full Line by the Fire.
Yep.
It's going to be amazing this year. I'm looking forward to every one of those events. I personally think, thank you, Ziegler. He said Badlands is June 21 to 24.
24th. Yeah.
I think I have a conflicting event for Badlands, but I am trying to get out there because I haven't been there yet and I want to go. But I may have a conflicting event. Axial Fest West is July 19 to 22. Thank you, Ziegler.
Yes.
No conflicts there. I will be there for that, guaranteed. I love Axial Fest West. That's my favorite, and I really like to see, as we continue to build the event, I really like to see that it gets better and better and better. The more times you can stay at a location, the better the event comes year after year.
Yes.
And if anybody wants to do an Adopt a Trail, if Operation Lemon Charlie wants to do an Adopt a Trail, or any of the other clubs or companies, that's what we used to have, and that's what I want to see come back, is like the involvement from everybody.
Yeah, we had those every year at Badlands. We have a trail that we do, and huge shout out all of you guys from Axial, right? And huge shout out to our Recon G6 brothers. The immense work they do on those trails. You mentioned it earlier about creating, because you got to do a lot of creating. Dooley, right? Man, all the guys out there, Joe Parker and Bill Riddle, and all that stuff. It's just incredible. It's just incredible. So much work they put through that for us to have fun, right? And that particular weekend.
Yeah, those guys go way over and above, and even the Adopt a Trails guys, the trail sponsors, they go over and above, and they help make the event unforgettable, and that's a lot of what, like I said, that's a lot of what makes that event keep going. And in my opinion, there's no other brand specific RC event like that in the world. That is the one.
So Andrew and CCXRC Tony, they got you, bro. He said his conflicting event is hopefully a calendar invite he accepted to balance.
Dang it.
And then Andrew Ziegler says, right?
I have
It's
to
because
look.
there's water in Indiana.
Water, and it could be that sand thing again, that mud.
Water thing. I think there's been a couple years there where it's been really wet over there.
Flashback. Well, it wasn't last year. The year before last, we had that Friday. We had a hurricane.
Yeah.
Friday.
No, thank you. I live in a town. Oh, I do live in a town. It's called Hurricane, not Hurricane, but it's called Hurricane. And believe it or not, man, we had 2 weeks ago, we had hurricane force winds, and this is why the town's called that. It blew my barbecue over with a propane tank in it, a stand-up barbecue, blew it over. I picked it up, I put it back together, I set it up, and it blew it over again while I was literally telling somebody the story about the barbecue blowing over. And today we had winds again, and guess what happened?
It flew over.
It's laying down in the backyard. I'm like, man, I ain't even going out there to pick it up till tomorrow. Forget it.
In Florida, they would call that Tuesday.
Yeah.
What's the point? Yeah.
Every afternoon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every day in Wyoming.
Yeah, right. Scumbag RC Luke says people don't understand how much effort goes into this event, right? In particular, Axial, Pro, and Horizon, any of all those RC events. It's just a lot of hard work goes to it. It's not,
It's a lot. Yeah. Every event is huge. King of the Hammers is huge. Men 400. Oh, you know what? Somebody asked about if I wanted to race the Baja 1000 or King of the Hammers or something, or Men 400.
Mid 400.
Yeah.
I'm a race driver. I'm a race car driver. I would absolutely, given the opportunity, I would jump behind the wheel and I would race any race that somebody said, can you please race this race? And for that matter, I would also co-drive. And, as long as the driver's good, there's a lot of scrutiny that goes on there. I've been in the car with some guys that weren't good and have opted out. You're putting your life in the hands of somebody else behind the wheel.
Yes.
So there's a lot that goes on. But if I was given the opportunity to drive some sort of a vehicle in any one of those races, I would do it in a heartbeat. It's in my blood. It's fun. I feel like I drive really well. And it's just a passion, I want to go fast. I want to have a challenge. I want to tackle whatever trail is in front of me.
Yeah. I love, and we were blessed of being present, with you guys again, Utah, and how much you guys teach the young kids out there. There was a lot of young kids saying like 16, 17 driving those trails with us, guys.
Yeah.
I was like, and you guys were saying they were born here. These guys are amazing, right, Randall?
Yeah, I think it was
the Armstrong boys.
Antonio.
The Armstrong boys, and Antonio was there. Yeah.
Antonio is the son of a good friend of mine, Julio, which is a very good friend. Those are guys I learned to wheel with, Julio and Larry McRae, which used to own Poison Spider. Great guys. They know how to wheel, right? And it's funny how you look up to some of the people. I think it's right back there. There's a poster with a bunch of BFG wheeler guys. Yeah. And there's a bunch of big names on there, in my opinion. Wow. And those were guys that I looked up to. And then when I started wheeling, I started hanging out with these guys, and I'm like, wait, these are all the guys that are, coincidentally, they're all those guys. Like, holy cow, I'm wheeling with, like, in my opinion, legends, like these guys are awesome. Like, there's no freaking way that I'm hanging out with these guys. And if you haven't seen it, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a cartoon about King of the Hammers. And it's about a guy, a husband and a wife talking about going out to King of the Hammers. And they do a bunch of name dropping in this cartoon. And once you know those people, like, it's kind of funny when you watch it and you don't know the people, but once you know those people, it's absolutely hysterical to listen to all the all the names that they drop in the video, and all the what do you call it? The when you poke fun at somebody, it's a innuendo, insinuation, or whatever the word is. Sorry. It becomes hysterical, right? And you just have to laugh at it, like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe what I'm hearing right now. Like, wait, I know all these guys, right? I never knew them before,
Yeah.
So
Scumbag RC Luke is saying Coulter is 10 in a buggy 4-wheel S out there.
Yes, Coulter is badass. He is a up and coming. If that dude competes, if that kid competes, he's gonna be a big threat in the competition world. He is very good.
Gaspar Allegra says, isn't it there a 13 or 14-year-old at racing at KOH, King of the Hammers?
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know about this year, but I wouldn't be surprised. The Campbells were very, very young when they started. I don't know their age, but Waylon Campbell and Bailey Campbell were very young when they started racing, and they were in the big boys class. It's no joke out there. Every driver will tell. I mean, you'll hear Randy Slauson say it was the easiest thing ever, and I know he says it, but I also think he's lying, because it's not that easy. When you go out and race King of the Hammers, it's a daunting task. When you look at what you have to do, it's gnarly. And so for the young guns, I mean, hats off to them. That's what it takes. They're quicker with their response time.
The risk that goes to those event in particular, that one, right? The terrain, all that stuff, getting tired, all that, right? At the end of the day, that's when everything started weighing on you guys, right?
For sure, man. When we crossed the finish line, I'll never forget when I crossed the finish line. I was absolutely exhausted, and all I could think about, I didn't even think that we were finished. I just was like, where's the next rock trail? Like, that was it. I was like a deer in the headlights. Like, what's next? We still got to go. I never thought we would have finished. It's hard.
I think it was maybe 2 pro lines back ago. You were there, right, Randall? Bobby,
2 ago, yeah.
Yeah, because you had the laser nut was there.
Yeah, I brought Pretty Penny up.
I was doing something, right? And we were doing something in our booth. And I look up on the top of the mountain. I saw laser nut. It was coming down, or that was you, right? It was coming down from the top of the mountain.
Sure, yeah.
I was like, whoa, all of a sudden it was like halfway. Oh my God, that was crazy, man. It was like it was very impressive. It was very impressive.
It was either I was driving it, or we had some people out and we were letting people drive it. Cody's very cool.
Yes.
To allow people to get in Pretty Penny or whatever rig he has now, because he has since sold Pretty Penny. He's very, very cool to let people jump in the rig and drive it. And so one of the things Cody and I did, as I was the spotter for Cody, is we would take it out and show the car off and let people get in and drive the car, just so they could experience what it's like to be in the car. Because the car, it's unreal what that car can do.
Yes,
right?
It's crazy. I remember in last year in Donners, right? The last year that we were there.
Oh yeah.
I know RC Girl drove it.
Yeah, I had Pretty Penny
Reef.
for that too. Yep.
And some of the guys.
I think Reef did it. I think Harley did it. I think RC Girl did it. And
that was so cool.
I'm not sure. It might have been Gene Boyd, maybe not. But I want to say somebody from UC Fab drove too. I don't know. There was a few guys that drove it. That were able to drive it. And dude, we love doing it, right? Like most people, and I think Javier, I told you before, I did an event with it was called Wheelers for the Wounded.
Yes.
Was the organization, and that's put on Kevin Carey, which is a veteran, also hosted that event up at the Rubicon. And the cool thing was, people that don't get to normally experience that type of stuff is what we really like to do, man. And it brings joy to me to see them light up and be like, wow, this is amazing. Like you guys riding in my Jeep when we went off-roading out here.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's so much fun.
Again, going back to what we mentioned earlier about the adrenaline, especially us military guys, all that stuff. It just getting back to it, feeling that adrenaline rush, it just getting on it, just something simple.
Yeah.
Right. It brings back joy, all that stuff. It's just awesome. Again, it was just all around amazing weekend I spent with you guys. So
and I mean that's what I like. What you guys are doing is bringing joy to people and getting people back out to the outdoors, and that's what the Kevin Carey was doing, and that's why I really like what you guys are doing. Is like, hey, you know what? You recognize people just need to get outside. Get outside.
Yes.
go explore more, you know. And I mean, I fall guilty of it myself now because I work from home, you know, but it's the cool thing of what you guys are doing. Like, hey, let me get you set up, you know, whatever you have experienced overseas or off the American soil. I don't say all the wrong things, but off the American soil, you know, doing your service work. Let's get you back outside and remember, you know, experience what you were fighting for. Like, this is what the civilians enjoy. This is what you fought for, right? Because a lot of people, maybe they forget about that, you know, they get focused.
And just holding to that purpose, you know, and I speak about me personally. This is my experience. Most of the stuff I talk about experience, and some of our veterans can relate. A lot of our veterans can relate. It's just not losing that focus, right? That purpose. If we lose that purpose, that is when all the walls are getting smaller, right?
Right.
During the day, all that stuff. For me personally, the nights are the ones that are harder, that you by myself and just, you know, demons come, whatever. It's just that all that stuff, PTSD, all that stuff comes back. But that's why to us it's so personal and it's so serious for us, right? And I don't want to go back. It's just for us. I want people to understand and hear from us, right? How serious it is, what we're doing, that it can bring some of those guys out of the hole, right? That could, for somebody, I don't want to say normal, but somebody, a specific situation, it could mean nothing. And for us, it could be our last day. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I get it.
Whatever it is, guilt, remorse, whatever it is, our stuff that we, you know, in our particular, right, stuff. It just, how important for us, how serious Operation 11 Charlie. And this, like you guys said, it's not a toy for us.
It's therapy.
It's therapy, right? I could go through anything, brother. I could go through anything. And you guys mentioned it's not easy, all that stuff. It's not easy for us, right? Because we fight our own demons and then we help our guys, and we do it with love, right? Because I want to save my brothers and sisters. I don't want to get that call. And it just, this RC for some people are toys. For us, it's one of the just immense tool that is saving life, right? That is what we are, so very serious and personal on what we do here, right? Some people may not understand it, and we just got to focus and block everything else, because the cost, none of us is bigger than the cost.
Right, man. And what's really cool about what I see a lot of is you never know when you're actually touching that person's life. You may never recognize it, and that person may never actually tell you, but eventually you see that person all of a sudden walked out of a dark hole that they were in. Like, you just don't know, right? So you have to put yourself out there and you have to support them, and you have to be like, hey, maybe today is the day. Maybe this thing, right? Maybe this RC car is going to change your life. It's going to give you a completely different perspective of enjoyment and positive thinking, you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm having fun with this. And you just saved a freaking life. Like, holy cow.
Seeing those expressions, seeing those guys, how they are, how they came in, and this is going to be the last thing, guys, so we're going to start saying our goodbyes. It's way past.
Sorry.
It's going to have to be done in the second part here. We need to bring back Randall. We had a lot of questions. Anyway, it just seeing those guys, right? When they come in close, they don't, you know, guard up, right? They don't want to, you know, and they come and they let their guard down, especially when they know there's a lot more veterans and people understand what they're going through, and they leave whatever our outings, the time we're together, or what we take it to events in a different mindset. They're like, wow, I didn't understand that, brother. I didn't. Thank you so much. That's what keep us pushing forward. On that note, guys, I think, yes, we're past. We got to start saying our goodbyes. Randall, we need to bring you back, bro. Do a part 2.
Anytime.
So again, guys, before we start saying our goodbyes, thank you so much for the support. Huge shout out to the winners. I get the C2C, man. Kay won that. Congratulations, Jeff. Man, I got to text Jeff tomorrow. That's awesome. That's for Jeff too. I will give you, probably you can send it to me and I will give it to him personally, Randall. I will text you our address here.
Yep.
And I will give it with this box right here that I have. And anything else that we forgot to mention, Sergeant Major? We're good?
Good.
Everything good, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember who we have next. Next Monday, right? It is the 6th, right? We have RC Supremacy. RC Supremacy is going to be our special guest, guys. Brad Bowman, RC Supremacy. So he's going to be a next special guest, guys. And again, thank you so much for the support, guys, for you guys and being here with us over not close to 3 hours now. Let's go. It's awesome when you're having a lot of fun with the brothers. So Jake, go ahead, bro.
Thank you everyone for coming out. Randall, thank you for not showing us anything, even though we tried. And we'll see everyone next Monday.
Awesome. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Sean.
Everybody in the chat, thank you very much for the support constantly, week in, week out. Without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. Like all the waffles, raffles, everything is always there to support 11 Charlie. And thank you, and Javier, as usual. Thanks for making me a part of it, brother.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you for helping us accomplish what we have done. All the people behind the scene. Without you guys, we can't do this. Jeremy.
So thank you, Randall, for enduring my my witty humor, and everybody out there for being awesome and commenting and keeping this interactive. We really appreciate that. Share this. I don't care about the YouTube share. Share it with a friend.
Yes.
Put the right face in the right place at the right time, and magic will happen.
Amen.
So thank you, everybody.
Amen. Take care of each other. Rob.
So everybody in the chat, thank you guys. A lot of familiar faces. Thank you guys for all your support. You're always there for us week over week. So much love goes out to you guys. Everybody in the panel. Randall, thank you for coming out here. Dude, hearing all this stuff, I can't wait to meet you in person. I mean, the adventures that he keeps bragging about, I'm kind of getting jealous. I'm like, I need to get into one of those rigs. I mean, I want to be at 90 degrees. I mean, come on, like, let's go. But thank you again. And everybody else that's been on the panel today, I love you guys. Remember, 2023 is all about support.
Yeah. Awesome. I think I'm the last one before Randall. It's your time to say goodbye, brother.
Oh man. Wow. Yeah, thanks, dude. That was awesome. We're always, I'm going to answer checkered past while I'm saying goodbye. We're always talking about new ideas, new product. It's not like a once a month thing. It's a matter of what we see on the internet, what we see people do, and what we see happening in the world. So we are always talking about what products to make next. It's just always a long road to get there. I really appreciate you guys having me on the show. I haven't been on your show ever, so it's super, super cool. I'm glad that you guys are part of Expo Fest. I'm glad that you guys are part of the RC industry. Look forward to seeing you guys out here again. Hopefully you can come out for Trail Hero. It does not conflict with Pro Line by the Fire this year, so you'll probably see me at Pro Line by the Fire. I would absolutely love to be on your show again whenever you guys want me. It's a pleasure to be here, and I love what you guys are doing. So thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, bro. Sean, I think you
I was just gonna say, I think you
put Andrew in timeout by mistake.
I put Andrew in what?
No.
Andrew Stigler was timeout by Sean. Andrew, that was by mistake, brother.
Oh, I must have. I set my scissors down. I must have sat down on my phone.
Yeah.
Bro, if I get written up for that, I'm coming after you.
Again, and I mean, again, Randall, thank you for being who you are, bro. Thank you for making us feel so welcome always in the events, especially on your house background, your backyard out there. We can't wait to see you again, brother. My wife still talking about it and enjoy the time. I'm very grateful of you and your wife, brother. So, and all our veterans are, we're very grateful of that. But we cannot thank you guys enough, and Horizon, everybody that make us part of the family, right? Alongside Red Cross, right? And what's the other one? Sorry, Major?
Hobbies for Good.
Hobbies for Good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Mm.
for making us part of Hobbies for Good. That's huge, right?
Keep an eye on all right. Keep an eye on Hobbies for Good. If you're not following it yet, or you're not paying close attention, keep an eye out for that, because I do have something special that I'm working on. I cannot say when it's actually going to come out, but I do have something that's coming out for that. So specifically Hobbies for Good.
Yes, it just grateful. We're so grateful that we are part of that Hobbies for Good. It just, thank you so much, guys. Dean's Design, Adam Dean in the chat says Randall rocking the Uggs.
Boom, brother. I don't have them on right now, but you know how I roll. I had them when I had to get recovered.
Awesome.
I was wearing them.
Adam, brother, Adam Dean, love you, brother. Again, thank you guys. We're past the time. Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you next Monday.